So you wanna learn about beer? Stay tuned and never fear. They're the guys for the case, 'cause they'll tell you all about what they taste. We got Mudhole, B&Q, we loves Star Wars and grilling too. And Knox guy loves baseball and board games, he's played them all. There's no place I'd rather spend the Monday nights than here, having a few chuckles and damn good beer. Now it's time.
There it goes. We talk about like succumbing to the pressure of new roles, and I'm sitting here in Tyler's seat, and I got guest host and a guest, and Matt's the only one in his normal seat, and he's the one who fucks up.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go.
Well, no one knew that until you said it.
oh, yes. I forgot we're live. Hello and welcome.
It's okay. Sometimes I forget how to count, too.
I'll just point and click I'm failing at. I feel like I'm an idiocracy.
Earlier you said you had a hard time remembering what buttons to push, and there's like 3.
Yeah, well, there's 4 if you count the full screen button.
Well, I've got my Crocs on. How about you guys?
Hold on. They're not in four-wheel drive mode.
Womp womp.
Oh.
I don't do a lot of off-roading.
Well, back at it on a Monday. Super excited. As you see, Tyler's not here. Tyler is at the Alabama show with a good friend of the show, Kelly Kaufman. So they're going to have a good time. The last Alabama show the TBG group, went to, I wound up reading half through the concert. It was kind of boring.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Kelly's going to that? That doesn't seem like that fits my interpretation of her musical tastes.
Yeah, that's what he said, Kelly Kaufman. So, yeah.
Huh.
Yep. So, I hope they have a good time, but we are here and we're going to have an even better time because we're not going to read during the show. We're going to drink beer.
Woohoo!
So, I need no introductions, but in Mudhog B&Q, we got guest host
Brandon Holder, proprietor of Tarnished Hollow Brewing in Elwood, Indiana.
Hell yeah, we just went there on Thursday. We'll talk more about that. Had a great time in some igloos. And our guest,
Dwayne Blazik, for what it's worth, from Oliva Cigar Company.
I really feel, I was thinking this earlier, for a cigar rep, last name Blazik, spot on.
Oh, dude, I was like...
Spot on.
I did another podcast, and they're like, dude, your last name, you were born for this job. And I'm like, true.
Can't argue that.
If you look at it on paper, I can't deny it at all. Like, yeah. Hey, you can't fault when fate hits. Okay?
No, you know what?
It's true.
When fate presents itself and it's that easy to follow, you just got to go along with it.
Oh yeah, lean into it.
Oh yeah.
It's like when your parents name you Mercedes, you're born to be a stripper, you know? Like,
oh my god.
Bound to happen.
Yeah.
The worst part
or a wrestler. One or the other.
The worst part about that is my uncle tried to convince my parents to name my little sister Mercedes. And his response, when they asked him why, he goes, oh, because it's a smooth ride. And they went, do you want to rephrase that? And as soon as he said it, he just went, oh.
Or like off-screen Matt, you know, we walk all over him. So some roles just fit people perfectly.
Yes. And off-screen Matt behind the camera, behind the mic.
Hello.
Pushing 3 buttons and you can't remember what order to push.
I've also got this
in.
whole box of buttons over here. That's more than 3, pal.
You never push those anyway, so.
Well, because you guys gotta be funny. I gotta play off of you guys,
Oh wait,
man.
Bing, 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 bing. There you go.
Right, yeah, we'll just do the noise.
I'll handle the sound effects tonight.
God damn it. So yes, excited for another show. We'll get into everything that we got going on. But yes, welcome. Matt, do we got any comments real quick?
None that are showing yet. Let me double
right.
check here. Give it the old...
Refresh things.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you know how that goes.
All right.
Happens.
All right. So while he's pulling that up, I'm also going to put him on the spot and ask him what his most anticipated is.
You know, I actually got talked into the orange soda sour thing, because that's a lot of stuff. But I do like orange soda, so I'm curious to see how it works out.
Yes. Brandon.
I'm going to be basic and go with Vanilla Death from Revolution Brewing, because I've yet to have a beer I've disliked from Revolution Brewing. Although the Freem sour there, you know, kind of has me going too.
Oh, I still got a collection of those Freeums. They're slowly dwindling, but they're
You've
dwindling.
still got so many.
And
I've just been blown away by them anytime we've had them on the show, and so I'm.
yeah, fantastic. Dwayne, what you got?
I've got to go agree with off screen here and go with the orange soda. I've followed Evil Twin for a long time. We were talking before about the Pizza Money Stout, and having them throw orange soda into the mix kind of seems a little intriguing. So got to give it a shot.
There's some known commodities that I'm really excited for, but I think anticipating, I'm also with the orange soda. I mean, who doesn't love a good orange crush? And we'll see what they lean into. So excited for it. All right.
Which the REM song, not about the soda.
Not about what? I never even knew.
Orange Crush.
All right.
They have a song called that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, got my Orange Crush. Anyways, Jim and Rose on. He says, I'll be first. Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Hey, Jim. Thank you, good sir. I know you're always watching. I always know you comment later, but I appreciate you commenting now, so we don't feel like we're by ourselves. All right, so we'll just get into it. First up, we'll get into the Cherry Bomb Blonde, Iowa's original brew pub from Front Street in Davenport, Iowa. Although it does clearly say packaged and brewed for Front Street by Potosi Brewing Company out of Potosi, Wisconsin. So a little bit of contract brewing going on.
We had one of those switcheroos this weekend at the tap room. Somebody brought in a Southern Indiana wine, and we tried it. And I read the label and realized it was packaged and vented in Michigan.
In Michigan.
And we felt duped.
Yeah, I actually don't know where we got this one from, but it is a 5.4% ABV. So, yeah, no other description on there really. Just ingredients: water, hops, barley, yeast, natural cherry flavor.
Ooh, natural, though.
So,
They're claiming it's natural. It best be.
well,
Which just means
extracts
you
can
just-
be natural.
Yeah, you just use natural chemicals to derive your flavor.
On that Trader Joe shit.
Matt, while I get ready to pour this, do you want to go over the scoring system? Or I'm happy to as well, but...
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. We got Tyler Austin Danner, long-time listener, first-time talker on here. Says, hey, sexies.
This is like...
This is what he's doing instead of watching Alabama.
Yeah, so
perform.
clearly Alabama's crushing it again.
Crushing it
crushing
again.
Not enough sweet potato pie to shut that big mouth.
This is like calling... That's so funny.
Damn cultural relevance joke right out the gate. Look at Brandon sliding into this hosting gig.
Shit.
My name's Steve Harvey.
Man, pedal the floor off the bat. I like it.
This is like calling in sick to work and then showing up at work as a customer.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that because I've actually done that. I'd say I'm not proud of doing it, but I'm super proud of doing it. It pissed my boss off quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what it is. I need a mental health day, but I need to come in and shop.
I'm basically taking a half day, but I'm taking the whole day.
Right.
You want to do the scoring, or we'll run over that?
Sure. So, what we do on this show, Dwayne, don't know if you've watched before or not, but on this show, we do rate beers. So, we'll sip it, we'll drink it, we'll talk about it, and then we're going to give it a score from a 0.25 scale to a 5. So, kind of match with what Untappd does on their app.
In 0.25 increments.
Yep, in 0.25 increments. We are basically, a 3 is for us is a perfectly average beer. It is exactly what it says it is. Good example of what that beer style is, but nothing outstanding about it, but nothing detrimental about it either. Perfectly average beer is a 3. When you 3 to 4 is once again, so not only is it average, it's a good beer. I really enjoy this beer. There's a few things it's not necessarily my top favorite, but it's a good solid beer. Once you get to a score of 4 or better, that's, hey, not only do I really like this beer, I'm going to try to seek this out. I'm going to try to find it somehow, some way. And then once you go to that 4.5 to 5, that's like, okay, now it's among the top beers that I have had. So there we are.
Tingles your jingles, tickles your Elmo.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. Now going down from 3 to 2.
My elbow appreciates
Visual
it.
gags is always
That softball pitch, I had to hit.
Most action his elbow's gotten in a long time.
from 2 to 3.
It's true, I'm at a body wash.
It's
so-
it's a solid beer, but there might be something that's off about it. It's maybe not necessarily maybe the cherry wasn't quite the way it was. Maybe artificial, something a little bit off. Good try. I'll drink it. Not my favorite. That 1 to 2 is like okay. It's not the worst beer ever, but I'm struggling with it a little bit. I'll drink it because I bought it or because my friend paid for it, but I'm not going to be real happy about it. That below a 1, that's your drain pour. That's like, oh, this is swill. I don't want to ever put this in my mouth again. But at the same time, mama ain't raising no bitch. We don't drain pour on this show, so we finish.
Yeah,
It's called
especially-
alcohol abuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you go to Gamebridge and you spend $12 on a Yingling and it comes out dark as a caramel, and you gotta finish drinking it because you're like, I paid for this.
Oh,
Not a recent adventure, I assume.
Blink 182 concert.
Some comments real quick while you guys are sipping over there. EB Zon says, hey, Big Daddies.
sup, EB?
He also says, party with Lee Tyler. All the loved Samies?
Samesies.
Samesies?
S-A-M-I-E-S, Samies.
That smells like a typo.
Like that rabbit incident earlier.
Yeah, not sure where that was
Is that the
going
new
to be.
Nirvana song? Except it's Weird Al, like smells like a typo.
And Tyler said Lee Greenwood is currently playing as the opener, but
God
now
bless
he's got to
America.
go. Have a great show, boys. Yeah, that Lee Greenwood is proud to be an American. So
Yep.
And so are we.
most days.
Yeah. And then you turn on the news.
So, not a pronounced cherry.
No.
It smelled like there was going to be a lot more, and then
I'm getting
when you drink it, it's kind of really tame.
I'm getting some like tanginess to it. Are you getting some of that? Like acidity that
I'm getting
isn't
that hop
supposed to be
acidity.
there in a blonde?
I'm getting, I would say hop acidity. It's
Maybe
a
it's the
little
cherry
hoppier
not
than-
playing
that's-
well with
I'd say
it.
it might be the cherry.
Well,
I think,
what I'm
'cause
thinking too is it doesn't specify is it supposed to be a sweet cherry?
Sweet
Is
cherry
it supposed
tart.
to be a tart cherry? Like, I mean, I cover Michigan for my territory, and I went on to an orchard and
doesn't
asked
quite
them for
say.
cherries, and the barrage of questions I got after that. Well, what are you using to make it? Just give me a bucket of cherries. What the?
I don't
I'm
know
trying to make cherry bounce.
Fine, I'm
because-
gonna go to the blueberry farm
Yeah,
instead.
I'm going down the street. Blake's is right down the road. Let's go.
Yeah, no, something is. It's a little more bitter than what I think a blonde normally tends to lean towards.
Because like when we first poured it, as you like swirl it and aerate it, not to like be super dorky, it does get better, like the aroma. But when we first cracked it, I got a very like similar to when I'm making some Berliner Weisses and stuff. I got a very kind of like lactic acid kind of bite.
Okay.
It smells kind of like if you undercooked a cherry turnover.
I can see that. Yeah.
Like it's got that almost like half cooked pastry note to it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Somewhere in the middle.
And then
of
the
yeah.
cherries were just too tart to put in there.
It's true. They should have told their contract brewer to specify what cherries.
They should have made a better recipe. And that big gulp at the end was just straight alcohol.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't go for the big
It
gulp.
is a little warm. It does have some.
Yeah. At a 5.4%, it's a little rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Whew. That might have even got it made it lower for me.
I didn't
Just when you
appreciate
thought
the
it couldn't
big
get
gulp
any
at the
lower,
end
it
to
sounded
C2.
like?
I wasn't gonna be horrible in this one, but
Yeah.
all right, boys. Brandon, you're gonna go first on this one.
I hate being a dick. to
Now the
the
good news is
brewers.
there's 3 of us, so Matt's opinion, although we may ask it if we remember, doesn't actually count.
This is true.
So
I mean, I'm
Was that
gonna.
Mr. Irrelevant?
it's,
He's not in the room. I could say that.
I'm gonna hit it probably. I'm gonna be more generous than my gut instinct. I'm gonna go to 2.
Okay.
There's just several things, like when you first cracked the can and we poured it, I kind of got a little bit of a wet dog kind of thing going on from it. Then we got the little bit of that lactic acid smell, and like I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I dare say I would almost prefer a more pronounced cherry flavor.
Yeah.
Even if it came off as maybe a little fake, not cough syrupy.
Right.
But like, ooh, this is a cherry bomb blonde. Like, this tastes like it was kissed by cherries, not...
Right. I agree with that sentiment. I actually wish they had a little bit more of that sweet cherry in there.
Less hoppiness, too. Less that, yeah, because it's that, like,
right
the
there.
heartburn. Like, you get that hoppy heartburn going on.
That, I got that little bit of that burp, and it just, like, it can't... What
are you going to
Natural
score it
cherry
then?
flavoring, though.
Huh?
What are you going to score it?
Well, you know, pre-burp, I was 1.75.
All right.
Post burp, where are we at?
I'm
Post burp
for sure-
coverage.
I'm for sure at a 1.
Okay. So we got a 2, we got a 1, and on.
Yeah, it didn't, like, when you drink a blonde, you expect to have some sort of vanilla notes. You expect to have like that, just like that nice creamy finish, and yeah, it's supposed to have a little bit of crispness to it, and the crispness wasn't there at all.
It was dominated by the hoppiness. I think.
Yeah, the vanilla note was there a little bit, but it, like I said, it tasted like undercooked pastry, and the cherry just wasn't hitting for me.
What's the IBUs? Is that 15 IBUs?
15. Yeah, so it's... I don't know.
What you had about 30 to that?
I was gonna be about a 2 1/4, and then the more I drank it, I'm like, yeah. So I was gonna go with that 1.75. That's where I was at.
That's where I was gonna. If I was gonna not be as nice as I thought, I'd felt 1.75. But
So yeah. So we'll take.
I tried.
So the official Two Beerded Guys score on this one, 3, 4, 1, 5 divided 3 is 1.5. And that's probably the score it deserves. It's oh God.
You just give it the Batman. It's not the score it needs, the score it
Score
deserves.
deserves.
John Anderson's on, says cheers with a little pink wavy handy.
Cheers, John.
Hey,
So,
bud.
look.
And we got Stephen King. Does Matt's opinion ever really count?
Well,
Hey, Stephen.
when it comes to Transformers, okay. And
Big Transformers energy over on that side of the table.
not trans that we know of, just Transformers.
I mean, I guess that's kind of not dissimilar if you think about
Autobots.
it. Unfortunate for me.
God damn it.
They just don't have the noise.
You're the guy on that side. You got the soundboard.
I don't have that sound. That's not one that gets used very much.
So,
I got this.
That's how we felt about the beer.
So Dwayne, we first crossed paths at Beer Fest a year or two ago, and we've seen it at several since then, and then at the Herman Brothers, their beer festival, we were set up beside each other because you had your booth up.
Yep.
So Oliva Cigars, you would tell us anything about them?
So started way back in the 1800s.
You look great.
I'm only 200 years old.
You don't look a day past 150.
Stop. Like I said, there's a knee for each of you. But no, we started well over late 1800s in Cuba. Melanio Oliva started everything up, and that's why we named our top shelf after Melanio. Fast forward 2 generations, Melanio's grandson is coming into where Cuba starts getting taken over by all these psychos, and he goes, "I'm out," and he bounces around the world for a few years. I mean, he tried to grow tobacco. He took all the seeds with him.
Right.
Tried to grow tobacco in Ecuador, didn't like it. Tried the Dominican, didn't like it. Went as far as going to Indonesia, didn't like it. Tried Brazil, didn't like it. went to Nicaragua because he had heard a bunch of the guys that he had been like working with in the same fields had gone to Nicaragua. So he went there, and we've been in Nicaragua ever since. That's cool. I've got like we went down to the fields about this time last year. Got to go check out the rolling facilities, go check out the farms, and I knew we were a very, very vertically integrated company. I just didn't realize how far we had gone with that. I mean, everything from seed all the way to it getting loaded in a shipping container and coming to the U.S. is done by us, by hand.
Okay.
That's sick.
That's cool.
So yeah,
that is cool.
Like the only machinery we use is a truck to drive stuff back and forth, and my favorite piece of machinery we use when they're putting the cellophane on the outside of the boxes. There's this little lady that just sits there. They bring the boxes over to her, and she's got a big pile of cellophane, and she wraps the box in there, cuts it off, grabs the hotel iron, presses it down to seal everything up, folds up one end like a present, seals that up, folds the other end up like a present, seals that up, sends it down a conveyor belt. Legitimately, that conveyor belt and that iron are the only pieces of like equipment, like actual machinery that are in our whole warehouse.
It's crazy.
That's
So,
super impressive.
Yeah, like we don't have forklifts. We have like the rolling stairs that you see at Sam's Club that they tell you not to get on, but you don't listen.
Yeah. You got to get that box of cereal.
Listen, if I want to use a 12-foot tall rolling ladder as a skateboard and try and do a kickflip next to the toilet paper, you're not going to tell me no, Brandon. I think the moral of this story is I'm not welcome at Sam's Club.
Yeah, that sounds too real.
Right?
Yeah. It's too
There's too many
specific an
details.
example.
Too many deets.
Well, that's cool though, dude. I like to smoke cigars. I wouldn't call myself a cigar aficionado by any means. They can be. I've had a hard time finding ones that aren't super harsh and makes my chest hurt for a couple days after.
Yeah. So that's actually something that a lot of people don't really pay attention to when it comes to actually smoking cigars. Is when you have there's a certain like almost ritual to it. Mm-hmm. You don't want to sit there. It's not a cigarette on your last break at work where you're trying to just suck that thing down, go tell these guys that their ranch dressing is not that important, and then go home. This is a cigar. You're supposed to sit down and enjoy it, and enjoy the fact that of all the craftsmanship that went into it, how many people actually have a job because you're smoking that. How many people get to feed their family because you're smoking that cigar. Right. And it's just like that they got way too deep, way too fast. But what I'm saying is like
John Hole.
I was like, there's so many things I can't pick one to say.
I thought you said John Holmes. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's when you got to be able to. You learn by doing it.
Yeah.
Learn by trying different stuff. If anybody's trying to figure out what kind of cigar they like, talk to your local shops. Talk to the guy that's in charge of the humidor, the guy that you walk in and he seems like he's spazzing out because he's so excited to talk to you about something. That's the guy that you ask.
The Pomeranian with too much energy behind the
counter. He looks like you fed a Chihuahua Red Bull. And you know,
That's funny.
And but yeah, ask that dude. Try some weird stuff, man.
Okay. We'll get in.
And then try some cigars.
Try some cigars. Right? Try some weird stuff with some cigars. Bill Clinton did.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Great,
right.
Monica.
All right.
Please don't do that to the ones I brought.
I thought you said you were cool.
I mean, not on camera.
We have an OnlyFans to make content for. God damn it. It's hard to make content. All right.
Still have painted toenails for my daughter. I can help.
Your daughter. Never mind.
All right.
My toenails.
Okay, that's way better.
We're practicing on her
She's like,
talents.
what, 6 years old now?
She'll be 6 in
Jesus.
2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. That all checks out.
Budding artist.
Our next beer from Evil Twin Brewing is the Woody's Orange Cream. Their simplistic label there, like we were talking about, they've just scaled down their label art. But it's still a very cool label art. But this is a 6% sour ale brewed with orange soda syrup, vanilla, and milk sugar. Keep refrigerated and drink fresh, which we have. It's almost frozen, I thought earlier. So,
Now, how fresh is it though?
Okay, well, we had one of those things, right?
Industry professionals right here.
January 16th, 2023. So almost 2 years old.
Trust me.
Yeah.
There's so much artificial stuff in that soda syrup and stuff.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, have you seen that like, McDonald's burger that hasn't aged in 20 years?
Exactly.
Dude, I have a loaf of bread, just white bread, sitting on the shelf that is 2 months old.
It's still good. Still tastes good, right?
Yeah. Well, I haven't tasted it. I'm afraid to, but it still looks fine.
I'd go ahead and eat it.
Tell me you don't eat a lot of bread without telling me you don't eat it.
It's at work. We had a chili cook-off. And it's just leftover bread from that.
Because you need bread with your chili?
Yeah, dude, you gotta
Peanut
mop
butter
up the
sandwiches?
chili sauce. You gotta mop up the chili with something.
Peanut butter sandwiches, bro.
Peanut butter sandwiches with chili? What the fuck?
We're recreating middle school lunches over here, dude.
No, you
Don't question the culinary prowess of the gentleman before you.
Yeah, I think we know what we're doing, Matt.
Pinky's out,
I've
boys.
never heard of that. Now, cornbread and chili, hell yeah, down on that.
Matt, what's in your fridge right now?
Some leftover White Castle that didn't get ate after the Bourbon Fest Saturday, and a couple of Sun King beers that Snow gave me, and condiments.
I rest my case.
Yep. Big condiment energy also on that side of the table.
Well, he needs them for his tater tot.
Something very milk toast came. Oh god, that smells just like what we wanted it to smell like.
I hope they got the carbonation right on this.
Oh, shit.
Well, don't worry, the extra time it's
It's still very,
naturally
Years
conditioned
old,
in the can.
Yeah.
Notice those fine, smooth bubbles.
Yes. It's sour on the nose. I haven't tasted it yet.
It's sour. Not overly, but
The beer itself is not really sour.
No. Oh.
it's tart.
It's tart.
What is wrong with your taste buds?
It's got a little bit on the back end.
A little bit.
Like you get a little bit in the back of your, back
I'm
of
never
your
just
jaw.
like, woo! That makes you pucker there, don't it?
I want this in like a Jolly Rancher or a Warhead.
Yeah.
I want this in some sort of
Ooh, yeah, hard
sour,
candy.
hard thing.
Milkshake.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not a big sour guy, but this is fucking
Yeah.
Yeah, for almost 2 years old, I'm really impressed with it.
Right. That vanilla does a great job of balancing things. They, and it's not that artificial extract vanilla. It's
like those old school, like you go to like get the glass bottle soda fountain, that orange dreamsicle kind of creamsicle kind of thing.
The Stewart's Orange and Cream when you go to the Cracker Barrel. That's the Cracker Barrel, not Cracker Barrel.
The Cracker Barrel.
It's even got a store. I mean,
They got checkers.
yeah, I mean that's where they earned the.
Big Gulp is good.
I had somebody ask me where they can find the pegging game from Cracker Barrel. I was like, I think you're doing Cracker Barrel wrong.
Or have you been doing Cracker Barrel wrong?
It's how Grandma had a heart attack. She saw lady and a gentleman there.
This is almost a really short show because I about spewed beer all over electronics.
Fuck
That was good.
Right? This is why people only want to come drink at my tap room when I'm there working. They don't want to come when my bartender's there.
We had fun on Thursday, Brandon.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I'm glad.
I
strive for quality experience.
I always like when you creeped up and kind of peeked in through the igloo. That was fun.
Yeah, like the top tier service in the igloo, coming out, checking out about perfectly timed. Like, oh, hey, everybody needs some new beers.
It was actually a good time.
You guys need some blankies? You were right on it.
My Google review I received today from the couples who came in on Friday night said the exact same thing. I was very attentive. So, I mean, I'm glad to see it's consistent.
Did you just like plaster your face on the outside of the igloo when you were
Yeah,
checking on them
I
as well?
just come up there and like the street lights illuminate my silhouette as I walk up to the igloo like Jason Voorhees. And my lumbering
I was gonna say the
boots and
Abominable
shorts.
Snowman, but
And I just smack on the PVC. Anybody need anything?
He's just sitting outside.
As I,
Hi.
smile. I pass out in the cold because I get lightheaded. Anybody need anything?
Just a line all the way down the side.
that reminds me, though. I guess probably leaving a Google review would be a good thing for you.
I mean,
we made our own posts and stuff. That was cool, but it's not like it's on
who
Google.
uses
And
Google these days? It's all about Bing, my friend. It's all about Bing.
What about
That's
Jeeves, huh? You guys remember
Oh, Jeeves, good buddy of mine. Makes 4th grade search engine results really pop.
Russell Owens just jumped on and said, "Good Lord, these are some fine-looking lads."
what's up, Russell? What's up, buddy? I hope things are going well.
We're improving the.
I think the word everybody's looking for is man pretty.
Oh yeah.
Pretty man.
Dwayne, what are you going to give that one?
All right, that one. So that was my most anticipated, and it's well beyond that. So I'm gonna go a solid 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna go a solid 4.
The fun thing about that is it's 2 years old. It says
Yeah.
drink fresh, and honestly, I kind of wish we had because I think I would rate it higher than a 4 if it were. Even at 2 years old, I'm at a 4.
That's where I'm at. I'm
Yeah.
at 4.
So perfect.
It was exactly what I was expecting, but if I saw a can of it or saw that it was like, hey guys, you got a whole shipment of these in this year, I would probably go back and try to get it.
Yeah,
All of the above.
all the above. It's that was well done. Matt, we didn't ask you about the cherry bomb. What do you tell us about that and the orange soda? In your opinion, that doesn't count.
Cherry bomb was I'd give it about 2. Drank it, but wouldn't love it. That one, I really enjoyed that, though, especially at 2 years old. I want to try that again. I want to try it fresh. I'm going to give it a 4 1/4.
Yeah,
Even at 2 years, especially at 2 years old.
especially at 2 years old.
Yeah, like, I can only imagine how much better that is fresh.
Yeah. No, that was well done, Evil Twin. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. Russell, I hope Boots on the Ground Radio is going well. As you can see, we got the logo up there, so got you on there. Shout out to our other companies as well, whether it's companies we're partners with or companies that we are our sponsors, things like that. So we got our Craft or Die Cam. So
Side note, if you want to put on the recently fighting Mike Tyson I saw, I was like, oh, perfect.
oh yeah, there we go.
Perfect or poor
One of my
timing, I'm not sure
favorite
for that.
because me being the Star Wars guy that I am, the Star Wars.
Han Solo.
That's what it said, but I didn't know. Now I see it.
Wait until you see,
Tholo?
Tholo and
The Don King,
Yeah.
Chewbacca.
Oh shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Craft or Die also did your.
Oh yeah, the Macho Man. I've been
Star Wars, may the 4th be with you.
Yeah,
I've been so distracted by this cup the whole time I've been drinking out of it.
Beautiful.
One thing I've noticed, like, so if you want to see what his newest designs are, typically a few weeks before the glasses are released, he will sell a T-shirt in many cases with the same design on it. So it's a good way if you follow him, whether it's his Instagram or his Facebook. But it's a good way to preview any new designs coming out. So, yeah.
and Kevin Atwell just jumped on and says, hi, guys.
What's up,
I
Kevin?
haven't heard from Kevin in a long while.
No.
Kevin Atwell, what's up?
Yes.
I want to hear from you, man.
For those just tuning in, Tyler is at the Alabama concert tonight. Matt and I decided we didn't want to read War and Peace tonight, so we decided to do the show.
That was such a stinker that last time, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm sad about it.
There's just no saving that.
No. All right. Next beer up. This is Puffle. A hazy double juicy IPA brewed with Nelson Sauvin, Citra, and Mosaic hops.
Are there Arctic puffins on there? Because I feel like that needs to be with that name.
There's a
There's a
penguin
couple.
with a wolf head.
Yeah, or maybe a husky.
Or husky, yeah.
And then there's a
I knew what it
penguin
was
with
before I said it
a
out
killer
loud.
whale head as well. So, but yeah, you'll see that on the Cam. This is from Wise Acre Brewing out of Memphis, Tennessee. Part of their Visual Dissonance Edition. Read more about the visual dissonance of our current cans by scanning the QR code. You could do that when it's on Cam.
Most people won't, though.
Read on this show.
I won't.
Push.
Right. It doesn't say what the ABV is.
Now, I'm not sure if this is a Letterkenny.
Yep,
9%.
9%. 9%.
Not? Ooh, nice. But Kevin says, "Hey, Dwayne."
Hey, Dwayne.
So I'm gonna read it like it was a Letterkenny reference.
I've known Kevin since I was a little kid.
Really?
I'm not even kidding. Him and my dad used to work together.
That's funny.
That's
That is
cool.
Small
And
world.
then
Yeah, right?
and then we ran into each other at Herman Brothers, and now whenever I see him, he's a huge Peanuts fan.
Yes, he is.
Huge Charlie Brown fan.
I'm glad you clarified. Peanuts, penis.
Yeah,
I was just thinking the dude liked cracking some like salty peanuts. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, there was
Goes to
3
Texas-
ways we could have gone with that one.
Goes
They're
to Texas Roadhouse and has a blast before
Yeah.
he even orders food. No,
like, what would you like to order off the menu, sir? No, thank you. I've had my fun for the
I have
night.
my bucket.
I came for the nuts.
Kevin's been a
Bet you did.
Kevin's been a long time watcher viewer of the show, so always
Wow,
appreciate Kevin.
Got a nose full of that far out.
Okay, yeah, there are a couple woos.
Very basic hops in this one.
What was the other one? Mosaic?
Yeah,
Citra,
mosaic.
Mosaic, Nelson.
Nelson
Yep.
Sauvignon?
Yep, Nelson's oven.
Nelson Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah. Might be good if it were. I think those white wine notes would go well with the hazy.
Oh, we also got Doug Levi. Cheers. First time watching from the big city of Connorsville.
Woo!
Thanks for checking in, man. Appreciate
What's
it.
up?
Welcome to the shit show.
Yeah.
If you like guys with
that
beards
is the
getting
truth.
drunk and making asses out of yourself, you came to the right place, sir.
You found it.
Your search is over.
My shirt's still on. It's not that bad.
We still got 4 more beers.
Yeah. Still got hour 2.
Hey, listen. Fine.
So he's
Threaten
gonna-
me with a good time.
Right? Oh, that's funny.
Most of the time, that costs extra.
I don't know the age of this one, but
Yeah, I
it
tried looking
tastes
on
pretty
it.
fresh.
Yeah, it's drinking pretty fresh.
Doesn't taste like it's stuff's dropped out, or if they have, then it used to be really flavorful.
Well, no particulate is formed or anything, so you're not getting that sometimes you get that protein settling out and everything.
That's a good call because lots of these hazies do, whether they dry hop them or whatever, and you got that sediment in there. And even though it's a hazy, it seems like they've done a good job of cleaning it up still. So,
And that's what I understand. It's part of the risk of the beer process, but nothing just ruins your day than when you're like blah 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 beautiful hazy,
Bloop.
and then it comes some
Oh
oak
my
chunks
God,
or
just
something
plop, plop,
flying out.
plop.
Hot pellets.
Oh my god.
What was that? M83. Yeah, that every time.
Yeah.
Every time. They're like, make sure you give it a good shake before you do. Don't shake it. Roll it. Number 1.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm like, that's the biggest troll I've seen in the beer game in a while. They're just like make sure you shake this before you drink it. It's like, okay.
They're hoping it blows the chunks
These-
out first,
these-
and then you get clean beer.
Right?
They serve 8-ounce beers, but they come 16 ounces of the can, but you're going to lose half because you followed the instructions.
So I had a porter last night that I got on Tavor, and it had actively started re-fermenting in the fridge.
porter?
I pulled it out, and the lid was tight like that, and I opened it, and I got this much of a pint glass out of it because the rest was all just continuous foam fountain. It just kept going. It was a vanilla bean porter from Hawaii, so I was pretty surprised.
Because
Yeah.
there's a vanilla bean porter from Hawaii. That is surprising.
Yeah. I think this is drinking very fresh.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's outstanding flavors in any means, but it's just put together really well.
Fairly solid. A very functioning hazy.
Yeah.
Not right home about, but solid.
Yeah, it's very good, boilerplate double hazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Oh, sorry.
Shoot.
I said we got Ben Carnahan on. Pilot
What's
Ben.
up, Ben?
Wow, Tyler is looking cute tonight.
Oh! Still Tuesdays, right?
This probably would have ended up. Honestly, I think it's a great representation of the style. But like you said, it's textbook. It's not flashy. It's not. They didn't shoot for the stars and pull an Icarus and end up screwing themselves over.
Right.
All right, so
And that's where I always get screwed up on the scoring, because it's like I want to be more generous to that, because they didn't try. Hey, we got, like, I do some. I mean, I have one that has 13 hop charges, but like they're not like, oh,
yeah, we
look
call
at
that
this
the
thing.
polyamorous sex room.
Yeah. At 13.5%, yes, it is. Yes. But yeah, it's like, it's one of those. It is very boilerplate, but I also admire that they didn't like Icarus burn themselves.
Yeah,
out,
like
and
try
so it's
and-
kind
yeah.
of hard to place a
good
on it.
solid beer. And all right, so Mr. Cigar Rep, I like whether it's stouts or whether it's bourbons. That's what I typically like to enjoy with a cigar. But what if I'm drinking this? What are you recommending?
So, I mean, honestly, I'm really big on the fact that there's not a lot of like sours or super hoppy beers that are going to go well with a cigar, just because the flavors that come from a cigar are so rich. Even when you get into the milder options, I think this has got enough body to it as well, that I think if you went with something that would be on the mild to the lower end of medium, I would probably go more on the Cameroon side of things. So Cameroon tobacco, like more on the lighter side of medium. That's going to have more of like a nutty note and a little bit more of that like not quite a cedar, not quite an oaky, but kind of somewhere in between.
Okay.
I think that with this would be a great like hand. I always use the reference. I want my pairings to have a handshake rather than a bitch slap, because I think like this would go great with a Cameroon. Something like we've got our Series G. I think that would go amazingly with a Series G. I also said earlier, sours don't really do too great. I think that orange soda. I think if I did that with like a really chocolatey forward like Maduro,
yeah.
I feel like it would taste like those chocolate oranges you
Yep.
used to get around Christmas.
Yeah.
You bang them on a counter and piss off your neighbors because it was that loud breaking.
Whack and unwrap.
Oh, I love that. So that's that. So a newer guy to the cigar world, not knowing Cameroon or stuff like that, like, is there a truth to like, hey, the lighter the wrapper, the lighter the cigar?
That's true
Is that
about
a true-
70% of the time.
Okay.
Sometimes it can be deceiving, especially there are some brands out there that will actually dye their cigars. Now, they're using food coloring, they're not going out and going to Home Depot and getting lacquer. So people when I say dye, people get freaked out.
Oh, sure.
It's not done in a
Number
manner.
5.
Right, yeah. Yeah. If your kid's allergic to a color, never mind. But when they get into the dyeing process, everybody freaks out about that, right? So what they're doing is, tobacco is a naturally growing thing. You're gonna have natural variation in color, but they're using that almost like almost like the autocorrect feature on your phone. They're making everything look the way it's supposed to. They're like
Uniform?
slightly changing one, so that when you open that box, all those sticks look exactly the same.
Okay.
When you get into bigger brands, sometimes they don't have to really do that, because they have a lot more cigars to be able to sort through, to be like, okay, these are closer, I'll put those in a box, and those are closer, I'll put those in a box. But so about 70% of the time, that the lighter it is, the milder it is, the darker it is, the stronger it is, that works about 70% of the time, because there are stuff like the CAO Flathead. That thing is about that color black, and it is at best a medium.
Okay.
And then there's the, which I don't even know if they still make it, but AJ Fernandez used to make one called the Enclave Oval Connecticut. It looked like a Connecticut, super nice, mild looking. The inner tobacco was broadleaf, which is like, it's like
That might be what the Hobbit smoked.
It's like, yeah, no, yeah. It's like looking at somebody going, it's like looking at somebody who's never drank before, and you're like, oh, here's some cask strength bourbon.
All right.
It's like,
All right.
yeah, you're going
I appreciate that comparison.
0 to 100 like that.
Okay.
And picking up something that mild can be really deceiving when you pick that up and not knowing what the other layers in there are. So yeah, that works about, like I said, you can get tripped up using that method, but
Okay.
for the most part,
For the most part, it's going to, okay.
yeah.
So back to this beer. I rate first on this one. I actually think it is an excellent beer. I get tired of hazies and these doubles and these triples. It's got a good body without being too pillowy softness, and it's just good mouthfeel on this. Someone would say, I actually am gonna give. I'm gonna give it that 4. I would search this out again.
I'm gonna probably go the same at a 4. Do it justice based on the factors that we discussed before, both in the fact that it is a great example of a double IPA without being too much or having some of those manufacturing flaws, the chunks and stuff like that, the sediment in the bottom, even though it's part of the game.
Yeah.
And so I think at a 4, it's definitely an IPA that I could drink another one of. There's a lot. You can know that from the crap that I have that I brew. It's not IPA heavy. Like, I don't do a lot of IPAs. I don't love drinking a lot of IPAs, but that one is one that I would enjoy a whole can of, and then probably a 4-pack and maybe even beyond.
It's basic, but executed so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to that keep it simple, stupid. You're supposed to, if you can't, what was that Ron Swanson quote? Don't half-ass 2 things, whole-ass one thing. So don't try and stop trying to add all this extra crap that you don't need.
Right.
And these guys took that and just ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be different, but 4 just is right.
Yeah. All right. That's an official 4. Matt.
It is really well done. It is tasty. It's a good example of that. Not quite search out for me. 3.75. Real close though.
All right.
It could deserve a 4. It's not there for me.
Fair enough.
Couple
Well
quick
done.
Comments. Ben says yes, always on Tuesdays.
Yes.
Doug Levi says cigars. And he's got the star-eyed emojis.
Oh, yeah.
So side note, since it's a live cast, anyone has questions about stuff, we got a guy that knows his things here.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
time to ask questions.
That's why we love the live cast.
Yeah. And Cody Moon
Cody!
says,
Oh.
I can't believe the internet allows that much sexy on one screen.
Yeah.
Especially the guy in the green.
Bringing sexy back.
If they allow double stuffed Oreos, they allow this.
Wait a minute, I don't know if I like that in the middle there. Hold on.
I was very specific in the food that I chose. So.
Oh, Stevie P's on too. My days are effed up. Forgot it was Bearded Monday.
Yeah! not Weird Sex Room Monday, Stevie P. That's the other night I'll text you.
BYOC, by the way. Bring your own cuffs. That's what they said.
And cock and... Okay.
Cup chair.
Cup chair.
I was trying to keep this man employed here. I was trying to keep it, PG-13. But
Well,
hey.
we didn't tackle Leva or anything. So they have to really be looking for Dwayne.
Hey, and honestly, I'm very blessed to work for the company I do. To be honest, they take care of us so well. And they I just had my boss flew in from Phoenix last week, and him and I went running around Detroit, and we were doing some different events up there, and I spent probably more time in the car with him in the last week than I've spent on the phone with him in the last 6 months.
That's cool.
And it was just it was a breath of fresh air to realize okay, yeah, no, he does know this much and he is helping me out this much, but he is this down to earth and he's still a real human.
Right.
Like, a lot of people look at their boss and they're like, oh, psycho robot, whatever. And I'm blessed to be able to have bosses that are actually people.
That's the beauty of all of the craft industries, whether it's coffee, beer, cigars.
Yeah.
It's like everybody, more or less, until you sell your soul for a deal or something, usually knows what it's like to have your hands on a product. You're invested in the lives of the people that sell your product and that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's what's really cool, and that's why I was kind of excited to be here co-hosting tonight. Because it's like it's one of those cool craft things that is lost in the modern era.
So we're going to take a minute here because
We're going down the John hole?
a little bit. Like, we don't do this very often.
I don't want to go in your hole.
Oh, buddy.
It's not always
Deep.
consensual.
So in January will be 5 years that the Two Beerded Guys have been doing it. 5 years. 5 years. I don't know what episode number we're on.
208?
208. So that means if there is 1,000 hours of us drinking on the internet. That's insane. Yeah. And when Tyler and I started, it was right before COVID. COVID hadn't happened yet, so we didn't know that was a thing. But it quickly became a thing. We wanted to keep our connection to this, not just the craft beer world, but the craft world. There's a passion that people who are in craft experiences, they just have. And it's just that love for what they do. And I mean, these things aren't the most rewarding things in many cases. So we're doing it because that's what we want to do. And we really wanted to keep that connection to that craft world. We wanted to, and that's why we don't have guests who are just craft beer people. We wanted to promote our guests and our friends who do cool shit. And really happy. I'm so happy people watch still. It still blows my mind that 5 years ago, Russell Owens out of Washington saw us go live on Instagram. We weren't even broadcasting YouTube or Facebook yet, and he's here tonight watching and stuff. Like, it's just cool shit. So really thankful for you guys. We're going to take a break here.
Do you want to do the next beer before the break? So this is the sour?
It's 7:53. We'll do it. Yeah, we'll take a break, come back, drink the sour, and then go into that dark, dark world. Thanks, guys. Be back.
fun and off-screen man. Big bushy beards and awesome hats. Two bearded guys. Oh yes they are 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 two bearded guys. Two bearded guys.
Yeah! I love that song. So good. Welcome back. Ready for hour 2.
Woo!
We got me and him and him and him
And
We're
beer.
people.
and beer. Yeah.
So happy together.
So we talked a little bit about our comedy show. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention the upcoming comedy show on January 11th at Grand Junction. So really good time. We got Chris Harvey out of Akron, Ohio. Mike Shaw. Gonna be a really fun show. We're gonna 150, 200 people is what we're aiming for there. So Grand Junction's excited. They are gonna have a variety of beer set up and ready to go. And
Shout out to Tommy Lynch,
Tommy
our boy,
Lynch.
the brewer over
Hells
there.
yes. You know, there's a few things I oftentimes, this is my bad. I overlook Grand Junction beer in many cases, but then when I go there, it's just got good beer.
Their Oktoberfest was phenomenal. We had it as a guest beer on, and his pumpkin ale was phenomenal. He's doing a great job in his
Squirrel
role.
Stampede, buddy.
Dude, yeah, that was the first one I loved in
Day
2018.
one,
when I
day
had it.
one, I love that
Yeah.
beer. That is the absolute best. And I went with the Irish Red this last time, and it was good. But then Stephanie had the Squirrel Stampede, and I tasted it. I'm like, damn it.
Squirrel Stampede and oh man, just like they do traditional, more English style beers very well. And,
Yeah.
I mean, so is Primeval. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are hitting a lot of the traditional English style breweries or European style, and they're fantastic. And I'm proud of Tommy, how he's kind of coming to his own there. We're the same age, more or less, and he's watching him kind of go through. Talking to me about wanting to get into the beer industry 2 years ago at Loggers in Lawrence, to watching him go under Gothrop when he was there at Grand Junction and then take over. He's doing an awesome job.
2 years is not a long time to
No.
get to that point, and he's just
He's kicking so much ass.
oh yeah, he is.
Cheers to Tommy.
Cheers to Tommy, baby. And it's so again, we know we kind of mentioned it, but kind of celebrating these places at Primeval, the first comedy show, we packed the house, and it was a lot of people who hadn't been there. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I ate beforehand because I didn't know they had food and stuff like that." And that's part of why we're doing it. Like, how did the Two Beerded Guys get in this cool comedy thing? Well, because we knew a guy, but also because
We knew another guy.
we knew another guy. So we our mission is to celebrate and promote these people and help them. So it's really cool, and I'm excited to bring it to Grand Junction in January. I'm excited to bring it to Filled in February. Still trying to nail down a good, solid March date, but it looks like Sun King in April. I got to get some details there, but I'm excited for all that. So
Nice. Didn't even know about that one.
yeah.
Things moving.
Things are moving, baby. Good time. So.
I'll actually be back in town for the 11th. That'll be fun.
Yeah, tickets are on sale. Matt, if you get computer savvy here in the next couple minutes, you can throw that link on there. That'd be fantastic.
I don't know if I have that link.
He's like, it's not one of the three
Try
buttons.
hard. I know, it's not one of the buttons. If it had a button where they just posted the link, that'd be great. But
What would that sound effect be if you could hit it or something?
that'd be okay. Something to work on. Goals. All right. So up next. Oh, I wish I was still a member of this club. I still wish Russell lived right across the river from these guys. Freedom Family L's, I think it is.
Throw the flag.
Freedom. Yeah.
I was like, is there a bug?
So this is part of their barrel aged
Sidetrack.
series. I was part of the Freemsters. They're basically their beer club. It was $120 every 3 months, and you got a 12-pack of barrel aged
Nice.
sours, bourbon, beers, things like that. So barrel aged bourbons, ales, yeah, it's great.
Sounds like Teamsters. That's some real union talk over here.
So this is their Nectarine Golden Ale,
Trying not to
and
get political over here.
they got gold print on black, which is difficult to read. Let me see. Let me old man eyes here, right?
It's like those energy drinks that print silver on white. Or white on silver. the person at the gas station.
You're just going to have to... Hey,
won't go.
something about Nectarine, Golden Ale, Sauvignon Blanc, 6 months later...
Do you want me to read
Do you
it?
want a young person to read it?
Cantaloupe or something.
Cantaloupe. I swear to God.
Is that your safe
Oh,
word?
cantaloupe is actually on here. I thought you were just making shit up. All right, Nectarine Golden Ale is aged in Sauvignon Blanc barrels before we add local flavor top?
Flavor
Nectar-
Town.
That's a different cigar brand. Nectarines. 6 months later, the resulting aroma from marmalade and citrus zest notes of peach, nectar, and cantaloupe practically leap from the glass.
Yeah. See, I got most of that.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Definitely got cantaloupe.
Words are hard.
John's was just like the Black Ops redacted version. He was skipping over the non-important parts. Cantaloupe, Sauvignon, Nectarine, Ale.
So one of my drivers at work today got a hold of me. She was just like, hey, my car is broken down. I need to have the engine replaced. I was like, do you need to ride it from work? And she's like, to work? She's like, oh, maybe. So I picked her up. We're driving this morning. It's kind of dark and it's raining. I'm like, hey, I have astigmatism. I can't really see. Should have thought of that before you asked me.
Spoiler alert!
My dad used to drive a car that the e-brake didn't work. And he'd be sitting there messing with his buddy. He'd just be like, he'd just go, she left me, man. And he'd just gun it. And then just like, boom! And just watch his buddy just mentally shit his pants.
And maybe actually.
Yeah, a little bit.
Matt is not going to like this one.
Oh.
This is more traditional, sour. Oh,
Foot
my
beer.
God.
Yeah, that smells.
That's a stanky boy.
Oh, it is.
Oh. It's just a vinegar.
But it's not going to taste like vinegar.
I don't know.
It smells
I'm
like one of
getting
those.
hay.
It smells like one of those blue boxes at a music festival.
It isn't as bitterly sour as it smells, but it is funky.
That's funky.
Ooh, I do get the Sauvignon Blanc barrel though. Like that's very nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. The taste is 1,000 times better than the smell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's usually some of those traditional ones they pull out. Usually are
Oh.
Yeah, you sit there and you're just like, oh, yeah. No.
barnyard. Let's call it. This aroma is very barnyard.
Barnyard. Yeah, no, people say barnyard when they talk
If you're
about
not, if you're
cigars,
going to be
too,
a
and I'm like,
bitch, man.
shit.
Whew. Well, I just thought you might want to enjoy it more.
Hey, no.
Well, beer's not for enjoying. It's for being a snob and critiquing it on Untapped.
Yeah.
So we can give it a 0.25 stars because I don't
Sorry.
like sours.
Pinky's out, yeah.
Hey, kill
Sour
it.
L. Ew. Sour L. I don't like those.
I'll try it. And then they drink it and you watch their face go, oh, no.
What'd you expect? It literally told you.
Tales from the Tap Room, more at 11.
Oh my God, dude. All the stories. Of the
If you thought beer fests were bad with people trying beer that they didn't like and then reviewing it poorly, just wait until you have your own place and watch them be like, oh no, I knew I wouldn't like a sour. Oh God.
0.25.
Or
think that
this triple dry hopped quadruple IPA. Oh my God, this is the most bitter beer I've ever had.
I had a guy bitch about an ESB.
Oh Jesus.
He was like, it's bitter. And I'm like, it says it was in the name.
Yeah.
It says extra.
It literally
Yeah, it's
says
extra special.
extra special bitter.
Or is it English?
I don't care. I don't drink them.
Brandon makes a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming back around this
Hell yeah.
winter.
Nice.
So is there a rating system for cigars that people can go on this and be like,
Cigar aficionado.
oh,
Yes. So actually, there are a few different companies that release their top 25 every year. What the stipulations are based on that varies from one place to the next. Just like Untapped versus Beer Advocate or whatever. So you have Cigar Aficionado, who is probably most people's go-to. Yep. You have Cigar Snob,
okay.
which if you ever get one of their magazines, it's like Maxim, but for cigars. There's just... Yeah.
Nice.
Lots of that going on.
It's a lot of
Subscribe into
bikinis.
that one.
It's a lot of bikinis of people smoking cigars.
But it's all the dudes. That
I was gonna say, like, the guys-
But it's all the dudes that are wearing the bikinis. No.
It's about it.
Hey,
Hey, it's
I was
2024,
promised
Brandon.
bikinis and cigars.
Very nice, very nice. Woo, woo, woo.
But Half Wheel does a lot of them too. Half Wheel, one of their big stipulations is it had to come out that year. It couldn't have been like a resurgence. It couldn't have been people forgot about it, and then it kind of like somebody releases an album, and then like 2 years later, one of the songs on that album becomes big.
Right.
Like it can't be that with Half Wheel. Cigar Aficionado, they just go off of what people like for the year, and basically, if they have smoked the cigar and rated it, I think it's over a 95. Then at the end of the year, they'll go through and they'll re-smoke everything they rated over a 95, and then come out with a list of their top 25.
Okay.
Oliva has not been outside of that list for the last decade.
Okay.
Nice.
So last year, they were releasing the list while we were in Nicaragua, and the way they do it is they do a whole week full of releases. So they'll do like 10, 9, 8, and then the next day they'll do like 7, 5, 6, and then they'll do 4, 3, 2, and then Thursday they'll do 1, and then on Friday they'll release like 11 through 25.
Yeah.
So we were all excited. We're like, we're sitting on a bus going from a rolling facility back to our hotel so we could have food, and we're just sitting there like, we got number 3 this year.
Nice.
So we got number 3. We got beat out by a Rocky Patel cigar, if I remember correctly, and then the number 1 was a Cuban. Which that's kind of a gray area with us. When America consumes over 40% of the tobacco consumed on the planet, and one of the largest tobacco publications is putting out something where it's like, oh yeah, here's the thing you can't have ranked as number 1.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I was like, man, that's kind of that. That's like that insurance commercial with the old dude. He's like, oh, you almost had it.
I got you $1.
Yeah.
So, this beer, I think there's a lot of nuance in there. I think on the nose, just by itself, you can be very off-putting, but when you actually sip it, savor it a little bit, I think it starts to, those notes start to come out a little bit.
I think and this is like, I don't normally do this with beer that I drink at home, but here when we're trying to really analyze something, I definitely do. The more you swirl it, the more you break out that barnyardness that we smell when I feel like a lot of stuff just has a lot of those volatile aromas in the nose, like when you first crack it open from sitting so long or from aging or whatever. And so like toward the end when we were down to the last half inch there, you got the nectarine, you got the wine barrel characteristics, and so as you let it mellow and you kind of come into its own for that minute or two, it definitely can pack a good punch. It's a great flavor.
What would you score it?
I would honestly probably I'd go 4.25. As in the past, I always say like, well, I'm not going to seek it out like tomorrow. But if I was on the hunt for a very traditional sour, and I knew that this could be procured around here easily,
There might be another couple bottles.
I
might know a guy.
I would seek it out, and I would put it even above the 4 because it kind of, if you can appreciate those stankier characteristics, there is a really nice wine barrel characteristic that comes out, and you get the nectarine, you get all of those nice flavors, and they play so well together. They're married very well in there.
Dwayne.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a big sour guy.
Yeah. Did not know that coming in, but
The nose on that was a little off-putting, but I mean, I said it earlier. The taste makes getting through that smell like absolutely worth it. I'm not gonna go so far as to say a 4. and like I said, I'm not a sour guy, but this was really good. I'm gonna do 3.75.
Okay. And sometimes I love the format of the show, but sometimes the way that we do tasting on the show doesn't always give a beverage its fair shot. And this is one that I think, having a limited time, got to drink it all, things like that. This needs to sit. This needs to be a sipper. Like I started at 3.75, and then even that short amount of time where it sat and I sipped on it, I'm at 4.25. Wow. Like it there at the end, and I was getting like that funkiness was still there, but it was. I got those notes from the Sauvignon Blanc. I was getting the nectarine. Just it came through, and I just enjoyed the hell out of that. So let's see what that average is.
While you're doing some math there, Stevie P says he just subscribed to that periodical that was being mentioned with the bikinis and cigars.
So cigar snob.
That is a 4 average. So
got a lot of 4s.
Yeah, we've been a pretty solid night, other than Cherry Bomb to begin the night with. So
hopefully we got the stinker out of the way quick.
Yeah, I think so. Let's hope so. But here we are now. Now it's going to be a little bit of a palate cleanser. I mean, there should be fairly straightforward. We have Late to the Game, an amber lager, 6.3% from Studebaker up in South Bend. So excited to try this one.
Of course, it came from South Bend. It's got Michigan colors all over it.
Some would say Irish.
Yeah, you should say Irish. You know.
Oh, that's gold. Yeah, no, they're good.
He'll allow it.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, oh, it's yellow and blue. They're making fun of Michigan being like not showing up or whatever.
Yeah.
Are they going with the printed cans now? Digitally printed?
Yeah, it kind of feels like that.
We got some guys that come in that run the IBC page, the Indiana Beer Can Collectors, and they come in and grab our like can release labels and stuff like that. And we had a pretty awesome conversation with them recently on Friday. They popped up to grab some of our newest can labels, and they were discussing how like there's some 1930s like Budweiser cans or Indiana Brewing cans even that like go for tens of thousands of dollars. But what's happening is not that. That's the high quality print. But like the shrink wraps and stuff like that, if they get like very little UV light, they start to crack and peel and all that stuff. And so they were talking about how the printing method of your can and your label art, like how its integrity shifts throughout like screen printed bottles versus labeled bottles. And it was interesting. They had a magazine that was talking about some like Indiana Brewing Company cans or some Bud cans, and they're very knowledgeable. It's cool to talk to them.
I can appreciate that level of nerdom. Like the amount of questions about cigars I've not asked tonight.
Yeah, I was like, I got a couple things. Like, all right, so if I could ask a quick one, you were just talking about like lists and stuff, and referencing like on tap, or Untapped. I can never get those two. Untapped. Is there an Untapped for cigars where you can go through and like rate your cigar experience or the ones that you liked?
So there's yes and no. Where Untapped has kind of got that same rating system and in like almost like a social network kind of setting. Mm-hmm. A lot of the like you can get cigar dossiers, like cigar journal, like apps for your phone, if you will. Some of those do have kind of a social thing to them. It's not as in depth as like Untapped would be, but you can get on there. There's somewhere you can even like you can set your cigar on the table and take a picture of it, and because of the position of the band on the cigar and the shape and size, like distance from the band, like it takes all that into account. It'll pull up what size that cigar is.
Oh my word!
It'll pull up. It'll tell you the length, ring gauge, all that stuff. It gives you a chance to rate it like on a scale of 1 to 5.
So you just need a band around it to be able to get the.
Yeah, it's called a cock ring.
Jeez.
Matt's like, mine keeps falling off. I can't even get the picture right.
Hey, we do make cigarillos.
For the discerning individual who's not got anything to prove.
Oh yeah, no, too perfect. That being said, we do have a brand called Nub. They're about that big, and they're about that big around.
Earns the name, huh?
Something like a snack-sized Pringle can.
Or a half-eaten tater tot, you might say.
Cam just joked on. Cam Dolan says, Tyler looks different today.
Yeah.
Only slightly.
Tyler's singing Song of the South right now.
Sweet potato.
Not if he gets the show we got. That did not play their biggest fucking song.
God fucking damn it.
That pissed the hell right out of me. One song encore, and it wasn't Song of the South.
Right.
Sons of bitches.
This beer, it's solid. It's like...
I really actually enjoy it. Like,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like, the back... I haven't had it in a while, but the only other amber lager local to Indiana kind of that I've had a large quantity of and enjoyed because we had it on draft in my old place was Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
The Guardian. They had Beauty School Dropout.
Okay.
Amber. That's
funny.
Really
I like
good.
that.
Like, and I really enjoyed it. And this is on par with that. That is a very nice amber lager.
There's nothing offensive about it at all. It's light. It's easy drinking. At 6.4, I believe. That's deceptive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because it'd be like 4.5 if I were to guess, right? Like,
it definitely drinks way more sessionable.
yeah. Caramel notes, just nothing outstanding, nothing that's like crazy stand out about it, except it's just easy drinking, solid.
Very nice fermentation characteristics. Like, I really like the nose on it. I like
Yeah.
a lot of pieces of that beer. Like, I really enjoy it.
I like the fact that the malt flavor comes out so heavily, but it's not sitting on you like a
Right.
like it's not
Your
like you
tongue's
said. It's
not sticky
right,
afterwards,
yeah,
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
The overly sweet.
yeah. It's not
It is a crushable. I mean,
like a lot of times when you get that level of like malt flavor to it, it almost feels like it's off putting because you're just like it's
a
almost
chore to
it's
get
almost
through.
yeah it's almost difficult to finish the glass.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy with this one.
yeah.
I feel like you stacked the deck for me tonight. Thank you.
The irony is sometimes we'll plan to try to have good nights, or we'll plan to try to have bad nights. Sometimes we'll just wing it, and no matter what we plan to try to do is never what happens.
It never what happens. Yeah. So yeah. Dwayne, you go first this time.
So I mean, kind of like I said, I mean, I really like that malty flavor that comes through. Like it's super heavy on the malt flavor, but it's not that like sticky, weighty. Doesn't like it's not. It doesn't feel like a gut bomb. Because a lot of ambers out there now, it's either you get little to no flavor or it feels like it sits with you for like a week.
Yeah.
And this rides that line, and I absolutely love that. I think that's, I mean, the flavors on like textbook as to what it's supposed to be, and I feel like they managed to make it a little bit lighter without sacrificing anything. I'm going to 4.25.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Is there any
Yeah.
left? Okay.
Even down, like I feel like this one was just crafted well.
Yeah.
Even down to the carb level. You know, a lot of these ambers or browns, these darker malty ones, you don't want them super carved up. It needs to be a little bit lesser carb on there, and it's just
Spicy.
they just did a super good job. Yeah. I think the question that I have, and this I'm kind of stalling because I don't know how I want to go.
Just keep talking. Eventually, you won't have to rate it.
Right?
And
Am I gonna search it out? And that's the thing.
If you were seeking an amber lager versus something like a Corona Amber or any other like there's like a Bach kind of amber lager out there that's a mainstream one. On the shelf, if you were given a selection of amber lagers,
That's a really good question, and
Because let's pretend you're not seeking it out like you have to drive to a different store.
Because-
but if there's a whole selection in front of you, and you see that can, having had it before, are you going to choose it over others?
so do I get to include Irish Reds and Brown Ales in all this because they're so similar?
We
'Cause
go
I
malty,
think-
red and darker, amber, European.
Go the same family
lagers,
kind of thing.
Because I think I'd go Smittix first.
Okay.
Because I love me a good Smittix. But I'll go with 4 on this one. I think... God, if I saw it there on the shelf and I'm like, man, I really need an amber, it's right there.
Right.
I know it's good.
And I'm at a 4-2 as well.
Okay.
I think that if
damn.
given that it's warm out here, warm out here,
It's
cold out
perfect
here,
for this time
damn,
of year.
yeah.
it's perfect for this cold time of year because I really enjoy drinking something that's crushable while I'm cooking dinner on the nights that I get to be home and stuff like that. And so this kind of has that. I don't want to drink and commit to a barrel-aged stout or something big and beefy off of the collection. But I also don't want to just drink like corn and Pilsner malt. And so that is a great representation of something I would choose for that kind of a setting.
Yeah.
Or winter or late fall football game. You're out there in
Take
the
a
cold.
tailgate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be awesome at a tailgate. I
That'd
feel
be a
like
good
that
gate
would
beer.
be. Yeah. What?
Good Gaten beer.
Oh,
Gaten.
not what I thought you said.
Not Baton.
No, not what I thought you said
Okay.
either. But okay.
Oh, gosh.
but no,
It got even worse. When you
Yeah, it just kept
clarified that.
going. No, I think that would be awesome at a tailgate because it's one of those things where like you don't want like I feel like even your domestic guys would be able to actually take that one down. I think it appeals to a lot more than just your like craft beer drinker.
Yeah.
It's something that
It's universal.
yeah, and it's not that crispy water crap.
Right. Matt, thoughts?
Um,
It's your wheelhouse. No, it's not IPA, but
Don't know how much I would seek out like a amber lager, but that was pretty good. You guys, I think, all gave good logics as to all the reasons why. If I was gonna get one, I think that would be one I'd go for. I think a 4 is the right number.
great job, Cedar Baker.
Yeah, nailed that one.
Awesome.
And now it's time for the big show.
Stevie P asks, I don't know if this is something we'll have an answer for right now because it's a little bit of a tiered question, but could the Two Beerded Guys do a 5 beers you'll ever need? EX, like your daily driver, your impress the guest, the bargain beer, something you're saving for a Friday night or the special occasion.
That would be a great use to drive people to your website, sell tickets and shirts. Some Gary V inspiration for you.
No, that's
That's a good thought. I mean,
that's a good
something to kind of powwow on.
We
and
could definitely put that list together, and that'd be a tough.
we had done some lists before, and it's just been a long time since we've done one. That sounds like a fun little challenge. I like
Yeah,
it.
make notes, screenshot it, Matt, or take a picture.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
That's so
Picks
much
up
easier
his
for me.
hand and just goes, all right.
All right, moving on. And I open it first like an idiot.
You didn't shake it?
The next in the 12 stouts of Christmas from Phil Brewing is a
friend
stout brewed
Ryan.
with dark cherries, vanilla beans, and cocoa nibs. And one thing I'll tell you, even though it doesn't say anything about all natural flavors, I will tell you, if it's coming from Phil, it's going to be all natural flavors. That is their thing. That's what they do. So this is their cherry cordial.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Ryan Umbach,
6.6%.
we're coming for you.
I
He
can't
still
say.
WWE shit talked me on video, so now I just have to razz him every time I'm on here with the
great
hat
video.
turn.
Hey, I drank a couple Stone Cold Steve Austin Broken Skull beers last night.
Yeah. I think we've had one on the show. I haven't had that Hulk Hogan beer, though.
There's a Hulk Hogan beer?
Yeah, it's called the Real American Beer. It tastes like if somebody left PBR out in the sun.
And then dip their wiener in it.
I mean, it looks like he's been left out in the sun for too long, so that kind of tracks.
He has. He lives in Florida on the beach. Of course he has. He looks like a handbag.
I mean, he's looked like a handbag since the 80s, though.
What do
That's
you
not a
mean,
new
brother?
development. Stevie P is saying he could even just do that as a special show or something, an episode for that. Like,
Yeah.
all right,
His
good
blood's
idea.
slowing down because
It's starting to cook and boil.
All right, let's see if Tyler is sending me pictures of the type of pictures he normally gets.
Did what with who for how many gummy bears?
Nice.
The lights have the other two really washed out today. So is there a light that we forgot to flip off? Probably.
Because I'm
Well,
a ginger.
No, I was gonna say
Is it that one?
normally, John, you're sitting on this side and you're a smidge darker complected. I was kind of noticing that as well today, but I'm like, we were already started and I don't know how to fix it.
That's fine.
Racist.
He's not Mexican.
There's no room
That
in
light
here for
is
racism.
normally off.
Oh.
I think that's one of the reasons why.
Where's that switch? Is that over here? Or
Yeah, it should be the second one from the right. There you go.
Is that
I
better?
don't know if that got better or not.
Please tell us.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Oh, that smells great.
Didn't really make a difference. Also, like, Brand's a little leaned up forward more, so it's hard to tell. But I don't know if like that kind of got the shade of it changed, or if it was just.
That one might be a little wider than normal.
So about Brandon or the light?
Listen, me too.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah. This smells delicious.
Yo,
I'm going to continue to sip on this.
I do want to
Just
say
smelling on this.
the last one, this one, both. I think we're in that moderate drinking range of like, oh hey, these aren't super high ABV. Which, if you're doing the 12 beers of Christmas, depending on how many you're doing in one sitting, could be an advantage.
Right?
It's not like you gotta drink 2 and be like snockered on your ass. Like, I kind of appreciate that.
I'm just laughing because I had a video where it was on one of the private beer groups on Facebook, and a buddy and I did a Facebook Live video within that group and did all 12 of the 12 stouts of Christmas from Rochester. And they've got some... Everything they do with that is sugar bombs, but it's just like... We would have 2 pint glasses, and we're like, this one tastes like blueberry cobbler. And just be... I had him do the outro, because I forget what we ended up... Which one we hit, but like, the last one we hit, I threw it back, and it hit wrong. And he was like, Dwayne, you want to do the outro? I was like, no! And I just ran out of his house. I ran out of his house,
I'm too young for this kind of responsibility.
fertilized the flowers, and went back inside.
I get a lot of that cola flavor in this.
Yeah.
Cocoa's there. It's got a little bit of bitterness to it, but not crazy. I like the way the cherries are done in this one.
Yeah. The cherries definitely, and maybe it's the style choice making the difference here, but stout versus a blonde ale, which stouts are even harder to get the cherry flavor in. So, I mean, A+ to Ryan on that one.
Yeah.
Because it does. The flavor is there. It's also not artificial, as we've stated with their natural ingredients. It's just a really nice, it's pronounced, but it also plays well with everything else going on.
And the vanilla acts as just a good blender of the flavors. It's not like, oh, vanilla.
Right.
It's just, it's
It's in the
complementing
background
everything.
that
Doing
how
its
cherry
job.
cordial would be. You know, you got that white
It's kind of like
little
that.
cream.
It's kind of like that pinch of salt when you're making chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is well done. Fuck. Guys. We're lucky.
I was not sure how to approach this, because when it came to cherry cordials and cherry cordial flavored stuff, my aunt, before she passed away, used to always have those Queen Anne's. Every year around the holidays, she'd have Queen Anne's in her house. I don't know if she ever ate them, because I never saw the box open, but she always had them on the counter every year.
Was it the same box each year?
I hope not.
It was like one every 3 months she'd eat.
Right. She was diabetic, so so that might.
Those are emergency cordials. When she needed a
Feeling low. But no, like cherry. The cherry cordial thing kind of always takes me back to being a little kid and like running around at her house.
eating the chocolate off of them and spitting the cherry part out because it was gross.
Oh yeah, no, because it was like that cherry and cream in the middle, and I'm like, oh my god,
Like a
this is good.
Bloody Cadbury egg.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's an accurately disgusting visual.
Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for that at all.
I'm a painter with words. What can I say?
You can paint with cherry cordials.
Oh.
Finger painting.
All right. Brighter note. All right. So, Dwayne, you were mentioning you travel around for your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're used to doing the Beer Fest world. You obviously were there at Herman Brothers. Do you do a lot of like festival type things in your gig, or is that not so? Because I don't know how you'd like sample out cigars as easily, right? Like,
So we don't really do a whole lot of festivals per se.
okay.
We'll do like events, kind of like a bar will feature a certain brewery for a night or whatever. And so I just did 3 in Detroit with my boss. So like we went to 3 different stores each night, or we went to 1 different store for 3 different nights. And like the first night we showed up, we have all our products sitting on the counter. We've got like some freebie stuff to give away, and we'll do raffles. And if you buy X amount, then you get all this free stuff. And we give away ashtrays, cutters, lighters, hats.
It's like a tap takeover for cigar
Yeah,
shops.
it's like tap takeover for a cigar shop.
Okay.
But we also do conventions. Our biggest one being PCA, so Pacific Cigar Association. We just released the Cigar University thing, so I've got Academy on the brain.
gotcha.
I've been trying to get a few shops to buy into that. Anyway, but PCA is huge. We normally do Vegas. Before that, it was in New Orleans. They're going back to New Orleans this year.
Nice.
When is
So that is going to be in April. If you work for a cigar shop, you should tell the owner of the shop that you want to go.
Finger guns. That's how you know he means it.
Yeah, because you can. Honestly, it's a big showcase of what every cigar brand is going to be coming out with over the course of the next year. We showcased our Roaring 20s cigar that dropped 2 weeks ago. There's 230 boxes across the country. That's it.
Word.
Wow.
They are $300 a cigar. We try and encourage shops to sell it as a box, so it's a $3,000 box.
Wow.
But hear me out here. That particular cigar we ate the cost of. The money from that goes towards our Helping Hands Foundation, which actually goes to build schools, roads, provide meals, all kinds of stuff for the people in Nicaragua.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
One of the things that came alongside with the box was actually a cigar knife. Looks a lot like that, except theirs is a lot fancier than mine. Same brand and everything, except this part is 18 karat gold. This is Damascus steel, and it actually has the Oliva logo on it as well. That's
pretty cool.
That's pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah. As well as inside the box, there's a certificate that tells you, hey, thank you for donating, thank you for helping support charity, and there's a little scratch-off code at the bottom. Scan the QR code, punch in the code under the scratch, and you find out whether or not your box was the one chosen to allow you and a friend to go all expenses paid down to our rolling facility and our farms, and we do a full walkthrough on everything.
That's dope.
Yeah. So people are like, oh, $3,000. I'm like, yeah, well, you gamble more than that at the
100,
casino.
1 out of 230 chance to. Okay.
Are you connected? Not to shamelessly plug somebody, but are you connected to Final Third, Rob, over in
I did their podcast a couple months ago.
Okay.
Nice. Sup,
I've known
kiddo?
Rob
like-
for a very long time.
I'm like
so-
we're like one of the only big name brands in there. He focuses on boutiques.
Right.
We call ourselves the biggest little guy in the game, because we don't have we're not the huge conglomerate. I mean,
Right.
like General Cigar and Altadis are both like publicly traded companies, but General Cigar, nobody's ever heard the name General Cigar.
Right.
General Cigar owns Macanudo, Cohiba, CAO, Tarano, Partagas,
So
like this
kind
menagerie
of
of
the
brands.
macro beer world. How
Yeah,
craft
and then
brands aren't really craft brands.
Altadis has Monte Cristo, has Romeo, has H. Upman, SLR. Yeah, I mean I could keep going. And you'll never know unless you go to an event that's advertised as an Altadis event or a general event.
Right.
It's that time of night where we get crashed by the 13-year-old.
Almost 14.
Almost 14.
Don't forget it.
Yeah, we've got what? 12 more days for that? 13 more
Something
days?
like
Something
that.
like that. How was basketball tryouts?
When's your birthday?
The 22nd.
Oh, it's just 2 days after Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
How was tryouts?
It was good. It felt like a practice.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Your birthday's
I have
before
Coach's phone number.
Do you?
She was like, give me
Now
your
you're getting
phone.
cut for sure.
She was like, give me your phone. I need to put my phone number in.
All right, fair enough. All right, kiddo. I'll be up in a little bit. Love you. Bye.
I'm now Matt. I'm off screen kite.
Can you push 3 buttons?
What 3 buttons?
Oh, God damn it.
Well, you just said 3 buttons. There's so many buttons. What?
All right. So we need to rate this beer. I go first on this one. I feel like we're being very generous, but we're not being generous. It's just the beer we've been drinking has just been really, really good beer, and this is kind of continuing it. And I think it's made really well. I think the flavors are balanced. It's done. Yeah, I'm a 4 1/4. Kind of makes me mad, but okay.
I'm gonna go.
He wrote that.
I'm gonna go with a 4. I mean, it is what it says on the can. You know, that's your base guideline, but then it excels at everything that it has in it. And so it's very well made, very well done. The 12 pack, I'm hoping, is as good as this one can was representative of.
Funny, if you were mentioning like chocolate orange, that was the first beer that we had was the chocolate orange stout, and it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that Ryan does a great job of making his 12 stouts. That's one of his big work weeks or work months or of the year. So, yeah, I'm going to 4 on that.
I stumbled upon these guys. Like my wife and I were just out doing just drive around and check stuff out and go to different parts of town and stuff. And we were driving past. I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
It says Brewing Company. We're going in there. So honestly, the nostalgia for me. So right now I'm at a 4.25, but with the nostalgia, I'm giving them an extra 0.25.
All right. 4.5. Well done.
Stevie P said best part of the show. I'm guessing he was referring maybe to the Kylie time,
Yeah, right?
the Kylie crash.
She's adorable. She'll be a future guest if we're still doing this in 7 years. All right. Time.
It's time.
It's revolution. This is
Right.
so
Only crap because there's no more.
people who watch know that River North is the Two Beerded Guys is a group, like top brewery. But this is 1B, and it's 1A for me personally. I love Rev and their barrel program. So, Vanilla Death, Imperial Stout with vanilla. It's just that straightforward, that simple. It's
I forgot that was the soundboard. I'm sitting there going, somebody silence your phone.
How unprofessional.
Behold, our original barrel-aged Imperial Oatmeal Stout, Death Star, with hand-split whole vanilla beans. Flaked and malted oats lend a supremely silky body that belies the beer's considerable strength. Pronounced vanilla flavor and aroma blends harmoniously with chocolatey, caramel maltiness, and blend of American and French oak. Enjoy now or store cold.
I like it.
We did not enjoy it now. We did not store it cold. But that's okay because I don't think it needs to be.
I like it. They're
It's
like
been basement
hand
temp.
split vanilla beans. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's really not that hard.
Boys?
Hand split a vanilla bean.
This was filled November 3rd, 2021.
Nice.
So this is
So 3 years old.
you got the ABV on that bad boy?
ABV.
That was heavily
Yeah.
Want to play the ABV game?
Ooh, okay.
All right.
That's fun. Yeah.
Don't Google
it.
it.
I'm gonna look it up.
I saw you pick up your phone. I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm a sore loser.
We'll pour it. We'll pour it. We'll drink it, and then I'll let you guys guess. And I know the answer.
Guess the ABV. I haven't done that. Oh, I'm just make sure I don't like look at the can too bad when it's on can.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to see it.
Because I got bad eyes, John. Is that a vision joke?
No.
Is that a crack?
No, it's a small print.
That's fine.
It's a small what?
Yeah.
Half-eaten tater tot.
No, we don't want
admiring
tater
our
tots after
RJ
all this is
Leatherworth
done.
coaches.
I'm for sure going to Sonic after this.
Can you make sure you take a bite out of each one of them? I want it to be authentic.
I need to gauge this as a measuring device.
There's going to be that poor girl in the drive-through windows is gonna traumatized, calling her bite. He made me bite each one.
She's like, I don't even like tater tots anymore.
That's
All right, quick poll.
None for Matt.
Favorite French fry side item?
Wait,
Or
what?
their favorite potato side item? What,
I was about to say my favorite French
From-
fry side item is French fries.
Place it's from or method of serving?
Or shape like waffle fry.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a waffle versus a French versus a tater
Hold on.
tot versus mashed potato.
Because that's two different ones. Because like you may say waffle fries, but there are some places that absolutely shit the bed on waffle fries.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to a place you've never been to, and they got regular fries, steak fries,
waffle fries,
waffle fries, tater tots. What are you going to choose?
potato pancakes, mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes are like bottom rung for me. Like I can make pretty decent instant mashed potatoes at home. It's not. There's nothing I've ever had that's gonna like elevate that for me, unless they're like loaded and you do a really good job of that. But that's few and far between.
I got my answer.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm going to place.
I'm probably gonna. I'd probably have to go. It's a 3-way tie. I'm gonna be one of those losers.
What?
3-way tie between tater tots, waffle fries, and the whatever the fuck that.
Oh, crinkle cuts.
Crinkle cut,
I
yeah.
forgot about crinkle cut. Oh,
Crinkle
shit.
cut if you're dipping it in like a sauce. And
fuck.
You got a nice little aioli
tater
going.
tots if you can like sour cream it up, bacon bits, that whole thing, nacho cheese,
Little tachos kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, now you're not
Or
even like
waffle
having
fries
you're
if
making
you're
it as
just
a meal.
pounding them.
I know.
Side
going
item.
through 'em.
Side item.
Look at me. Look at how Irish I am. Potatoes are a meal.
I ate the whole potato out of the ground.
Yeah,
That
he just likes them raw.
my wife actually, I watched her eat a potato with just a salt shaker, just sitting on the couch watching a movie, and I'm just like,
Cam Doan, are you still watching? 'Cause you do the same goddamn thing. I've seen him just eat a potato.
yeah, my
used
wife
to
is
when I
big.
was a
She'll
kid.
do that.
At
She'll do
least
that with a
cooked or-
tomato too. Like she'll just eat it like an apple. And
I
I'm
used
like,
to eat raw potatoes. I would have my mom cut them up into slices and just salt them and just eat them all. I didn't understand what potato
Is
chips
potato
were.
chip part of this?
It could be, yeah, 'cause especially like a pub chip. It's basically a potato
Oh,
chip,
like a
right?
fresh fried one, like a.
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna go like more obscure than that. The buffalo chips.
Yeah. That was my thing at B-Dubs.
Until they got
chip?
rid
Oh
of
my
them, the
God.
sons of bitches. Wedges do not cut it.
I'm looking at you, B-dubs.
Yeah.
Yes, B-Dubs.
You bring back the buffalo chips and the hot barbecue,
You motherfuckers.
or I'm coming through this camera.
They're like, okay, we'll tell the 2 employees we still have at each restaurant.
Right. God, that's
That didn't quit during COVID. Because that place is a hellhole to work.
I'm pretty sure that B-Dubs uses like frozen chicken nuggets for their boneless wings.
They do.
And
They
I've
put them
still
in a
gotten
tub
them.
and go-
I've still gotten them raw.
We
There was
discussed.
a
My wife
feather
and
in
I have
one.
discussed that. Like, what's the hands down worst wings you get? Pizza Hut surprisingly does well. Wing Street for like a quick and dirty.
Dude, I did
Not
I did
bad.
a My Hut box the other day where you get like a little personal
Yeah.
pan pizza and like 4 or 5 wings
Yeah.
for like whatever.
Yeah.
Rock the hell out of that.
They're good. And Wendy's sauce nugs honestly are really good.
I would
But-
know they closed the Wendy's near us.
Oh, it's yeah.
Yeah,
Might
I
as well
can't
little
trust
further.
Wendy's anymore.
Oh, they did right by you. Yeah, they did.
Waffle fries, by the way.
Yeah. Waffle fries if you're just pounding some French fries. French fried potatoes.
Unless they're from Chick-fil-A, and I'll fight anybody that says otherwise.
Was that your
Unless
potatoes
that
or
was
your
an exemption.
beverage?
It smells
They're not
hot
that
on the
great.
nose,
Yeah, I agree.
but it's not.
I don't know if I say it smells
It's
hot, but it smells boozy.
Freaking delicious.
Yeah. Vanillas dropped out a little bit. It's 3 years old.
Come at me, Bourbon County fans. This is gonna kick your Bourbon County Stout's ass this
The
year.
fact they do an oatmeal stout that is this, and we're gonna play that ABV game. Who wants to go first, Matt?
Oh shit! It's my first drink. Oh god, that's smooth though. The problem is I know where Revolution sits, like in the stratosphere of ABV-dom, and like this does not drink where it's at. Like
This is not the stout you're looking for.
Oh, this is the stout I'm looking for. The reason they're my
You're like, this is
goddamn
exactly the stout I'm looking
no,
for.
this is the stout you guys are not looking for. You just want to pour it in my glass.
And go to
God, that's so smooth though. 11.8.
Okay.
12.5.
There's Price is Right rules. Go ahead.
Price is Right rules.
Close not going over. Don't $1 me, Bob.
Oh, I thought about doing it too.
Go for it. You only live once.
Just Zac Efron him.
Yeah.
YOLO.
Yeah.
I thought he Mitch Luckered
my
me.
strong jawline.
He almost killed himself, man.
What?
Whoa there.
Zac Efron. Yeah, like he broke his jaw so bad. Apparently, like yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
That's okay. We're over it now. He looks.
I thought we were
normal in the
talking.
last
Okay,
pictures
I said Mitch Lucker, and you're like he almost killed himself. I'm like, he died in a motorcycle accident. What are you talking about? And of course he died.
There's a flesh wound.
Yeah, what are we at? I forgot what we said.
11,
8.
8, 12, 5.
Honestly, I'm going 12-2.
Ooh, and the winner is
I'll take my prize.
Brandon.
Son of a bitch!
Fuck you! 13, yeah! It's a 13-6, buddy.
Ah, fuck. No.
13-6.
Okay, I was still 1.1% off, but
I'll be honest with you. The first thought was 14-2, and I'm like, I took a sip. I'm like,
That would have been closest, but
I'm
it was
like,
over.
no. And then you said, yeah, that's what you said. Price is Right rules. I'm like, no, I can't do that.
Dude, this thing does not drink like I know it's in the
13
low to mid teens, but
Yeah.
it's stupid. It does not. This is DUI shelf for a 13% beer.
That's fair.
DUI shelf.
Yeah.
If
The beer
you're
that
not-
doesn't drink like it's that high, but then when you get up from the bar, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, if you're not normally it's reserved for like it's like
far is
a
your drive
10
home?
or 11 and it drinks like an 8.
minutes.
This is a 13
Yeah.
and it drinks almost like a 9 or a 10. Like
I live here in town. Oh my god.
Live in Speedway.
Womp womp.
Now the internet knows that. That's a horrible.
You're gonna just have a bunch of like cigar zombies coming up to your house, being like, "Hey, buddy, I looked you up in the yellow pages. Got any of those gold-plated knives?"
can they still make the yellow pages?
Yellowpages.com, yellowbook.com, bro.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right. The internet.
It's Death Star.
It's damn
It's
good.
Revolution. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just, if you know, you know. It's fucking
So-
delicious.
All right, a conversation that we can have. No offense, guy, but like since we had the Bourbon County, it was aged 2 years last week.
That was 3 years. It was also 2021.
Okay, so like that thing drank hotter than not only the new one, but
Yeah.
drank way hotter than this.
Oh, way hotter.
And this thing is just like vanilla smooth. It just delicious,
Yeah.
decadent. Like, fuck, I'm gonna put my dick in it. Like it's just good.
Yeah.
half
I love everything they did about this.
The whole
It's-
half tater tot.
We're taking our glasses away from you, sir.
Now that I drank it all, you can do whatever you want with the glass.
He's like, I just want
I do need the
can."
shallower one. That'd be great.
I know that's.
Brandon, you go first on this one.
I'm gonna handicap it a little bit because it's by far not the best version of Death Star I've had. So I'm gonna pull myself back from the edge of the 5, but I am gonna go 4.75.
Good.
I would actively seek it out. If I saw 4-packs of it, I'd text you. I'd text everybody I know that
Please.
likes beer.
Please.
It's right there. I think Death Cafe is probably a little better.
That one's got the
Supermassive
coffee.
Cafe Death.
Yeah. Oh god.
Well, I haven't even had that one. I've just had Death Cafe, the original one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Normally around June is when the Supermassive comes out.
Okay. I have to keep my eyes open.
Mark your calendars.
But yeah, it's right. Yeah, but it's there. I mean,
Waiting in
it
line
just
outside
is
the
what it
liquor
is.
store.
Like a sad puppy.
And then once again, we talk about like for a
Stand outside
4-pack.
Tom's, let me in.
For a 4-pack, it's not uncommon to pay $25 for this, maybe $30 for a 4-pack.
$32.99 was the last price I had on.
For a 4-pack, you're like,
That's
oh, that's expensive. But a 4-pack is 48 ounces. When we used to buy 22-ounce bombers for the same goddamn price.
$25, yeah.
So the 4-pack of this, well worth the price.
Well,
That's
Way
something.
more
That's
than you
another
pay.
thing that I feel like a lot of people have kind of not really paid attention to.
Disappearance of the bomber.
Well, yeah,
Because they sit on the
Disappearance-
shelf forever. And
Thank
disappearance
God.
of the bomber. Which, yeah, no, I'm okay with that. But people undervaluing it because it comes in a can.
Yeah. I literally
Which
just
is
had
the
this happen
superior-
at my tap room.
Yeah.
There was a really awesome crew of people who came through from Huntington, which, it's about an hour and 15 minutes from me.
Yep.
They'd been trying to catch my tap room and all that, and they showed up. They really loved the West Coast IPA we just put out, which is our Pacific
The
Salad.
Pacific
That's
Salad,
just,
yeah.
it's a standard West Coast. But he was like, man, I want to get a growler of this. And I overheard it, and I was like, hey, man, I don't do growlers. I copied Two Toms at that point. Like, honestly, I took my inspiration from him and personal experiences and was like, quality assurance. Like, for me, it's like if I know something in a can goes wrong, it was a process issue. Versus if a growler, it could have been a dirty growler, had something hiding, and all those, or a bomber, or whatever.
Right.
And he didn't end up buying a 4-pack of the cans, even though he wanted a growler of it. And so it's one of those things that is undervalued.
I do. I will say I really enjoy the uprising of crowlers. Mm-hmm. I love the idea of it because it allows for that long-term storage for, like, because I'll be honest there's times where I've gotten a growler and, like, I feel almost rushed
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get through it. Mm-hmm. Because unless I'm, like, going to a buddy's house or, like, hey, the game's on Sunday, we're going to get some people together, Thanksgiving, holidays, whatever, you almost feel like, oh, it's Tuesday and this goes out on tomorrow.
I guess I'm getting into it.
Yeah. I guess
32 ounces.
Yeah, I guess tomorrow's going to be weird at work.
Or 64.
And that's
even.
what I try to convey to people is like
64.
there's so many
64.
assumptions about cans and like all of those kinds of things, and I try to tell them like, then they're like, well, why don't you just switch to crowlers? And I was like, well, we're a really tiny tap room also. I'm like, we don't have a CO2 line ran right by our taps, and so the people who are filling, you're filling a crowler from empty with no purging, you still got that oxygen in there, and so it's one of those trying to
and that's one of the biggest problems I kept seeing when it came to the, like, growlers or the bullets or whatever. The bullets irritated the piss out of me. Mm-hmm. The biggest culprit behind that was Three Wise Men. They sold more bullets than they did growlers, and it weirded me out.
But
it's easier to drink.
Easier to
It's
drink.
only 2 pints.
in a sitting,
Yeah, but I'm also that guy that's like, if it's a growler, I'll pour myself a glass and, like, share it with people. If I have that 32 thing, I'm murdering that myself. And it's like, oh, it's an 18% stout. No, I'm not sharing. Get away from me.
I paid good money for this.
What are you going to give this one, though?
This one, I'm kind of in the same boat where I really liked the cafe. I will say from Revolution, their barrel-aged barley wine is by far my favorite thing that they produce.
Right away?
Yeah, no, barley wine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, straight jacket.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Tyler would agree.
I'm a sucker for a barley wine. Anytime I see one on the menu, I'm getting at minimum a pint, even though they serve them in 8-ounce glasses, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me 2 points, pour it in one glass.
Yep. Or I will double fist in your bar.
Yeah.
Ayo. Sorry. Anyway, with this one, that's the only reason I'm kind of like dropping it a little bit, but it's still insanely good. I'm going 4.5.
Okay. And I'm with Brandon at a 4.75. It's not quite that 5 for me, but it's fucking delicious.
I knew this
3 years
would be.
later, it is what it is.
And sometimes I feel like when it's a strictly vanilla addition, when that's your own main adjunct that you're putting in, you already get a lot of that from the barrels.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it feels like that's what sometimes drops it down, because it's kind of hard to be like, man, this was a standout beer, and it's like, oh well.
Just don't make it artificial, baby, and you'll be okay.
It's like when people talk about like vanilla ice cream, they're like, oh, let me just get a plain cone.
Yeah.
They don't say, let me get a vanilla cone. Let me get a plain cone.
Right.
So vanilla has that almost psychological connection to just plain, like almost nothingness. But which is not true, especially if you do it correctly.
Right. Lots of wonderful flavors of vanilla. It's just
and like that one, it came through so richly. I mean, you definitely get that like vanilla bean like
Hand split.
I was like, don't forget hand split.
I'm sorry, the hand split.
they're doing that Oliva shit.
I see. Yeah, no, I'm sitting here making fun of them, and I'm like, I just fucking did that about my company.
But I do think, though, to their credit, this being as old as it is, vanilla does usually tend to drop.
Yeah.
And this is in there pretty well still. Like it's held the vanilla well.
And we all make up those kinds of words.
Yeah.
And two bearded guys, but not official Two Beerded Guys. Doug has this idea. Says, how about we have a collaboration with Tarnished Hollow and Cigars to make a smoked beer?
Done.
I don't know what part the cigar has to play in it, but
so here's the thing. There's actually I was gonna bring this. I wasn't gonna bring this up, but it ran through the back of my head, and since he brought that up, I got to bring it up. There's a brewery that is in the same strip as New Holland in Holland, Michigan, not the Knickerbocker, which I spend far more time at, but the actual, like, the original Holland location, like a couple doors down, is another little brewery, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of it right now. But they have a beer on draft called the Tobacconist. It's a brown ale that's done with pipe tobacco. And you get that almost like I'm a pipe smoker as well as a cigar smoker. I collect pipes. My wife, she's pretty over it. When I come home and I'm like, look, I bought another pipe rack, and she's like, don't you have 60 pipes in this house? I'm like, but I didn't have these ones.
Right.
they're different.
They're different.
Jeez, Mom. Get out of my room.
It's not a phase.
I used to work for Warped. Don't do that to me. But that is a thing that's been done. We have to do that very, very, very carefully, because the nicotine that is a natural occurring chemical within tobacco. Right. If you go with something that has too high of a nicotine content, your beer will literally come out spicy.
Yeah.
And it will burn going down. If anybody has ever done chewing tobacco for their first time and accidentally swallowed just a little bit of dip spit and had that burning sensation all the way down, if you use the wrong strain of tobacco, you're going to get that with every sip of that beer.
Yeah.
Also have that same burning sensation going back up, too.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I like the, Cigar City does Maduro. And it does have that
and it's done on
cedar.
Well, and so they also have their Humidor series. And everything is done on Spanish cedar spills.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed that. Fun fact about Cigar City, I'm one of the guys that got them to come to Indiana.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I was working for Mr. B's Cigar Bar in Avon, Indiana.
Okay.
That's where I got my start. Shout out to Dave Kepler for giving me my foot in the door. Somebody had brought me a bottle of Hunapu, and I sat down and I drank it, and I was like, this is great. I would love to have other things from this place. And I was like, oh, I can't get it in Indiana. Well, let's see who else they distribute to. Oh, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, and Kentucky.
Fuck you, Indiana.
They couldn't come up with a deal with any of the distributors here in town.
Yep.
And so I called down there, and I was a pain in the ass. I called down there constantly. And I finally got a hold of the head brewer, who was also in charge of making decisions on whether or not they signed with different distros. Yeah. And I just went, hey, we got to talk. because I'm a cigar lounge and I feel like it's stupid that I don't have your beer. And he goes, well, we don't have a distributor in Indiana. I went, okay. I said, is this number, like, is there a better number to get hold of you? And he gives me his phone number. So the next day, I call the head of acquisitions for Zinc, at the time Monarch, and Cavalier. 3 beer distributors in town. I have all of them on a conference call. They're all super confused because they're like, Dwayne, what are you doing? And I'm like, just shut up for a second. And
I got this good idea. Listen.
And all of a sudden the phone starts ringing and they're like, what is going on? Who else is coming on this call? And Cigar City picks up and he goes, hello? And I'm like, hey, so I have the 3 largest beverage distributors, acquisitions guys on the phone right now. You guys have fun. I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna continue about my day. Let me know who I need to order your product from. And I just set the phone down and let him talk it out. Like 3 months later, Monarch comes in with the Cigar City rep, and we had been carrying their stuff for about 2 months. And he comes in. I was like, yeah, my name's Dwayne. And he goes, the guy just looks me square in the face. He goes, so you're the pain in my ass. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I got told I would be meeting you on this trip, so I'll be right back. He goes out to the car, comes back, hands me a 12-count case of bombers of Marshall Zucroff.
Oh my gosh.
And goes, this is for you. You can share them with the bar. You can share them with the staff. You can share them with the regulars. You could dump them down the drain. I don't care. These are for you. And I went, thank you. I said, why did you give me these? He goes, because you actually got us into Indiana. And I'm like, yes!
That's
so
what you got there?
I got presents.
Ooh.
Can I do a quick interrupt before you do that?
Interrupt.
I think was the tobacconist, is that maybe from our brewing company? Does that sound like that might be the one?
That sounds familiar. There's
Try to do an on tap. So yeah, I'm trying
I'm gonna tell you right now, like there's like people go around like Central India and they're like, oh, there's a lot of breweries around. No, there's not.
Right.
When it comes to Michigan, I mean, like Grand Rapids alone. I mean, it's pathetic. I've been in the tap room 9 times in the last year and a half, but I walk in the door and the guys at Founders, Dwayne, and I'm like, shit. I have the same thing with Arctos Meadery up in Grand Rapids.
Oh yeah.
Amazing mead if you're into that.
I got meads.
I got
We know some guys, yeah.
I went up there and one of their guys was like, hey, come check this out. We walk back into the production facility and he goes, try this. And he has he's got a little container there and he pours it out, a little bit out and he hands it to me. Took a sip. I was like, that's awful. He goes, yeah, it's an infected batch, you're throwing it away. And I'm like, but you know you're close with the team. You know you're close with the team at a brewery or at a meadery or a distillery or a winery or whatever. When they just troll your ass all the way into the production facility.
That's amazing.
They're waiting for you to be like, oh, that's delicious.
Oh yeah, and then they were just gonna call
What
me
is
on my
that?
shit.
Vinegar I'm getting?
Oh yeah, this tastes like balsamic.
Cleaning chemical?
We've also got EB still checking in, so still going, y'all. Hell yeah, man. Thanks for holding in the hall. And Doug Levi recommends, or we could just have a cigar and a beer day.
Yeah.
That works.
I think that's
cigar
a
with
great,
the beer.
a great way to go.
Once I've talked to Rob, Final Third, about doing a cigar-inspired brown ale, and so it all
Done.
kind of that. See, it all worked kind of.
Yeah. We'll make that happen. We connect people.
Word. So before I get into the presents I brought, I want to show off a couple really cool things that I really like about our company.
Okay.
We teamed up with an accessories company. We've never really gotten into the accessories side of things. The company we teamed up with is La Finlame. It's a French company. Uses German steel on all their products. So they do a cigar knife. They do a punch cut. They do dog tags. So it looks like a big. It's called the 135 tag. It's 35% larger than a standard issue dog tag.
Okay.
and it's literally just a straight cutter that hangs off your neck. And it's thin enough that you could slide it into, like, you could take it off the chain and slide it into, like, your credit card slot in your wallet, so you never are without one.
Interesting.
This is kind of their bread and butter. This is the cigar knife. As you can tell, mine's a little bit loved.
Broken in.
I like it. So leather holsters, some shops sell them together, some sell them separately. That's because I sell them separately. So this is actually Acacia Burl. It's a lot darker than your standard Acacia wood's going to be. The reason for that is all of our woods are unsealed. So they're still finished. It's still nice and smooth and everything. But you can still kind of feel that it's actually like a wooden...
Oh, yeah. Like
It's
not
wooden
all lacquered
scale.
up.
And the idea behind this is if you look straight down the barrel on it, one side has no gap between the blade and the body. The other side has a gap.
Okay.
The idea is you open it up just like that, lay your cigar right in that little hole, and you aim towards the logo because that's the side that's going to have no gap. And it works like a pair of scissors cutting a piece of construction paper, right? That gap allows for the cap to kind of peel away. So that way, instead of crushing the cigar, it actually cuts.
Okay.
One of the cool things is if that thing goes dull, if you screw up that blade in any way, shape, or form, it comes with a little Allen wrench. You undo it. You take that blade out and you send it over to France. They'll send you a brand new one.
Nice.
The biggest reason that we have that rule when it comes to that is you create your own patina with this. If this was given you as a gift,
Yeah.
you don't want to lose that. Or if you got like a limited edition finish, we may not have it anymore.
Right.
I don't want to replace something that has sentimental value to you with something that's just one of our everyday
the shelf.
Yeah, something off the shelf that
That's cool.
may not have the same meaning. Probably one of my favorite things we do though is the only cigar cutter that I know of that is TSA approved.
Really?
Nice.
Huh.
And the best part is, it's been on camera the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to see it?
Yeah. Oh, it's right there.
That little metal container, metal piece in the middle, I don't know if we can really see that on camera.
Slightly.
But that unscrews. And there's a punch cutter on it.
Huh. Neat.
Actually, don't screw it. The beer can's still on, right?
Gibby.
It's spinning.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay, yeah, just mix it in the frame. It's just a beer can, a little taller.
It just missed the frame?
No, it's in there.
Okay.
Yeah, when it spun around, got in there. That's pretty funny.
But the cool thing with that is, we actually, I guess the company originally approached the TSA. It was like, hey, a lot of guys that travel with cigars, they need a cutter, but they don't want to they want to lose it. And a lot of guys will travel with some expensive cutters, and I've watched guys literally pick up, have their cutters that are $100 cutter taken away from them at TSA, and they just throw it in the trash.
God damn.
It's just horrendous. But yeah, this particular one is a limited edition that was done for PCA, that big festival out in Vegas.
Okay.
If you went to the awards ceremony, which we talked about, Rob at Final Third, Rob at Final Third actually got named the cigar bar of the year.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I remember seeing that, yeah.
Right here in Indiana. But we gave
Little Ingalls, right?
Yeah, we handed these to people as they came into the event. So we gave away a couple hundred of these things. But this is the fun toy. This is the present. So anybody that wants one that's in the building, if you want one, anybody, I'm looking at the back of the screen it's
Camera's here. I'm here.
Hey. But if you guys want one, go to Oliva Cigar, not Oliva Cigars. Oliva Cigar /retailers, and you can find somebody that sells our product. But this was to commemorate the 135th anniversary of our company.
Wow.
Which, that happened a few years ago, but we still make it twice a year.
Okay.
typically release it. We used to release it around the show and around Father's Day, but the show is always in like June, July. So now we do a spring and a fall drop.
Yeah.
But this, I mean, presentation-wise, this is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's fucking beautiful.
And a lot of people worry about the boxes in transit and everything. And one of my favorite things... Yep. For anybody that knows anything about cigars...
Yep.
There's your humidification pack that we tuck in right underneath that tray. That is actually a slotted tray. So we've got ports for the humidity to come in and out of that. This particular cigar is an Ecuadorian wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler, medium plus in there. It is the exact same blend as our standard V, but it is a screaming example of why size and shape does matter when it comes to cigars.
And not just cigars.
Yeah, not just half-eaten tater tots. I almost said torpedoes, but
We'll allow some speedway and hot roller nonsense.
Torpedoes are cigars, but so I guess technically this would be called. I think we boiled it down. This is technically a perfecto because it has a taper at the foot. This guy, I mean, this is hands down one of my favorite cigars that we make. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can kind of feel the outside of that. I normally tell people like, don't try not to touch the tobacco part of it until you're smoking it. But I mean, like you can
Get all
feel
my finger oils on there.
you can feel how velvety that is
Yeah.
on the actual wrapper. And I'm actually gonna reach up.
Ooh.
Right?
And I mean, when I say we're vertically integrated, I mean, like I said, from seed all the way to shipment happens within our facilities. We own the box factory. We make boxes for other companies. We own the fields. We own the rolling facilities. We own the fermentation areas. We own all of it. And we also have paid for and built some schools. We've helped pave roads. We're talking about building a resort.
Nice.
Type of resort.
Right.
It's going to be like invite only. But building a facility within our property so that we can actually host people to come down and check out the rolling facilities and check out all this other stuff and still be in a safe environment because Nicaragua has been in a state of civil war for like 200 something years.
Shit.
Yeah. They're fighting over which gang is going to be the new government. We have armed protection like pretty much all the time. Going into the gates of the buildings, there's guys at the gates. There's we walked into a gas station, and the part that made me laugh was the first guy that was there when we walked in. And we just stopped in. And we're like, oh, we're gonna need some snacks and stuff to finish out this trip because
Yeah. Everybody needs beef jerky and
yeah,
shit
from
like that when you're on
from
vacation.
Managua.
Funyuns.
Yeah.
From
Funyuns.
Managua, which is the capital of Nicaragua, to our farm in Esteli, or our rolling facilities where we were staying in Esteli, is a 3-hour bus ride.
Oh my word.
Oh,
Ooh.
So we go into this gas station. The first dude standing there, he's all securityed up, and he's wearing a real official looking uniform and everything. And he's got that old school pistol holster with the flap that goes over and snaps. And I'm sitting there looking at him, I'm like, man, that's an old ass gun. And I'm standing on the aisle, and I looked over, and I'm just seeing daylight through the top of that holster. There's no gun in it. And then the next guy comes in, and he's got this, like, it almost looks like he stole it from a Teams guy. Like, it's just tacked out SIG rifle strapped to his chest with every bell and whistle on the rail you've ever heard of. And he just comes in, he's like, oh, you need chips are on aisle 2. And I'm like, don't make eye contact with me. What are you doing? I'm freaked out right now.
Yes, Daddy.
that is
yes, I do want beef jerky.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You want me to get you a candy bar? I'll get you one, I promise.
Do you like Kit Kats?
Right?
I will say, walking up to the register and paying for 6 guys' stuff on your company card, 6 guys all go up and they get like multiple bags of chips and drinks and all this other stuff, and you put it on your company card and it says like $200 and something odd dollars in Nicaraguan dollars. You check your expense account later, it says $7. I'm like, all right.
Guys, I know we've got a little bit long. Appreciate you if you're still watching. Hell of a time. Thank you, Dwayne, so much. I thank you, Brandon, for being here, being the best version of Tyler that there could be. Absolutely appreciate
You
that.
can only improve on the original.
All off screen, Matt is over there. I know we got to do the beer of the night, but Matt, what you got?
A couple quick ones. EB said Caleb McCalkey, maybe, will bring whatever smoke you need. So if you need any, I'm not sure if that's specifically.
A variety of different smokes.
Yes.
Thank you, EB.
And Jen Dussard is on. What's
Jen,
up, yo?
hey,
Sorry
love.
I'm late.
Hello. Wonderful show tonight. Glad you're with us. We're going to wrap up here, guys. This is the beer of the night. Now, this isn't necessarily the highest rated beer that we had, but basically it is which beer stood out the most to you as far as, boy, that was not only really good, but it kind of caught me off guard. We're going to move that one. You're right. That was last week's.
You know we can do that one?
Fuck it out the window,
Fuck out the window. All right, Matt, beer of the night.
I love that Cherry Bob's not even
Gotta go with the.
I hit it back there. Yeah, there's no way Cherry Bomb's going to be.
You say you hit it back there?
Yeah, it's right there.
I just looked over. I was like, I love that it's not even in the line. It's like, it was shit.
Yeah, it was shit beer.
I gotta go with the orange soda, man. That thing really, I was hoping it'd be good, and it was interesting, different, and old, and still good.
All right. Brandon.
I think I'm going to go, even though I rated Vanilla Death higher, I'm going to go with Late to the Game. The Amber Lager. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I got the nostalgia going, and it made me think of my aunt. So I got to go with the 12 Stouts of Christmas, that cherry cordial.
You know, a lot of contenders. I really thought I was going to lean towards either the orange or maybe even the hazy because it was done so well. But honestly, Late to the Game, Studebaker killed that one. Really, really happy with that beer. So fantastic job. Guys, anything else? All right. Cheers.
BRB. There.